We're live now.
She laughed. Oh god, were we live when I said that?
I think we might have been.
Oh god.
I'm pretty sure the first
Mom, Dad never watched this video.
thing he warns them now. I'm pretty sure the last thing I got was Tasha saying, "Help us, Scott Juan Kenobi."
Oh, no.
Well,
Oh no.
now we're in for copyright strikes as well as knocks for languages. So languages.
Well,
Language.
okay, I was trying to make Matt Mercer laugh over here, so
That I appreciate that. Also, if you're calling me Matt Mercer, I'm assuming that you've been dropped on your head in the last week.
okay, Pat Purser.
More
Deal with it.
the distinction of me as being a Matt Mercer. I think that's very misplaced, although I am flattered. But for the sake of, again, the no one or two people, make it 20 people watching, welcome back to Taikangaard.
Woo!
I am your host, Conan. What's his first name?
O'Brien?
Yes.
Barbarian?
Alright, kids. So, last we left off, we had a very entertaining session of perusing the library because libraries are very interesting, kids. Learning is fun and smart and good for you. Eat your vegetables and do your learning, your homework. Anyway.
Unless the school is closed for coronavirus, in which case, don't.
Well, y'all are just
In which case, don't eat your vegetables? What does that have to do with it?
Yes, y'all are just gonna end up dumb and weak, and that's okay.
But eat our vegetables when they're dumb and weak.
That's
What?
how we want it, so when we commit our crimes of atrocity to take over the world, you can't resist us.
Exactly.
Well, that escalated quickly.
We can discuss our plans because nobody watches us.
True.
Kira and Scott, as long as you're willing to bow to us, you can be part of our new world order.
We might even give you high governmental positions.
Exactly.
Or toilet paper.
Yes, I nominate Scott to be the keeper of the toilet paper.
Yes.
With a
Don't
pole
hold it
arm.
all.
We should give him a fancy pole arm.
Yeah, Andrew was
Yes,
not allowed any
with
of the
toilet paper on it.
He will use all of it within 2 days.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyway, so we were at the library. You guys decided to do some research into the strange happenings that have and visions that have been plaguing, as you realize, multiple of you in the past several days. Upon entering the library, you were greeted by a librarian whom you asked a number of questions about, ranging from the mythology of Jalbar to the history of their interactions with Stereos to a very innocently asked question about a pyramid out in the desert. The first librarian showed a whole lot of confusion, but was able to direct you into to your different areas of interest. And upon summoning over another librarian, this librarian seemed very alarmed by your questions about the pyramid and pulled you aside and basically explained that the visions of the pyramid were typically only revealed to a very select followers of an entity known as Aphemet, who was considered the last true pharaoh of Jalbar. She gave you a lot of information about this following, which seemed very secretive. She seemed very concerned about the information about it being leaked to the public in case of them being endangered as possible traitors and those who would seek to overthrow the current pharaoh. You asked her several questions showing various levels of skepticism and distrust, as this entity, being described as a very benevolent goddess, seemed to contradict everything that you had experienced, although you did not share with her that members of what had been described as a cult had attacked you on your way into the city. At this point, the librarian just simply turned to you after telling you as honestly as she could what she knew, and said that you would have to wait for Aphemet to lead you to the pyramid and give you more guidance once you arrive. She then left you, and you guys did a little bit more research onto Aphemet and at least into her goings on in her life, and she seemed an innocent and good but powerful ruler who was very, very tragically dethroned far too early in life. At that point, you guys decided that you needed to talk further to figure out what you guys were doing, and that, I believe, is where we left off. So, I don't believe anyone said that you guys were heading back to the inn, so I'm assuming you guys are all still in the library.
I
Anybody?
thought we did head back, but maybe I'm wrong.
I didn't write it down, which is my fault.
I could be wrong. It's happened.
We were heading back. We were heading back to talk. We were
Okay.
heading back to the inn to talk.
That is perfectly fine.
Like gasp. Tasha could have been wrong.
Once in a blue moon.
Well, it doesn't sound like she was, so the streak remains unbroken.
Shall the
The streak of
streak
Tasha's omniscience and all.
remain unbroken?
Okay, so you
I
all
am
head
too.
back. You guys all head down the stairs, back into the lobby where you first where you met the first librarian. He gives you a friendly nod, and quietly thanks you for your patronage. Do come again sometime.
I asked him what his name was.
The DM has forgotten. Stand by. Camel.
That's right.
Kamal?
Yes.
I'll keep it in mind.
Yes. So Kamal smiles and waves as you exit, and you step back out now into the blazing sunlight. It's about noon at this point, and the sun is very high in the sky. It is hot as all get out, maybe even hotter than it has been the last couple of days,
Ugh.
and incredibly dry. And there seems to be a hot wind blowing up in between the buildings and settling with little eddies of sand that blow around in circles before being pushed on further. There's a slight tension that you notice that was not here when you first entered. People seem to be kind of hurrying to and fro from building to building, kind of glancing at the sky and then heading back, hurrying along in their wherever they're heading to. One of the guards kind of that's posted at the door looks over at you. You do not seem to be from here, so you had best hurry back to wherever you are staying. There seems to be a sandstorm moving in on the horizon. Best not to be caught out in it. Are you guys are heading back to the inn, I'm assuming. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You guys push your way through the kind of growing crowds. The thoroughfare is starting to get a lot more crowded as people seem to be hurrying back to their homes. Even just in the few minutes that it takes you to walk back, the wind is definitely picking up in intensity. And for a moment, you're able to see just a bit past. Wait, no, this is Walt. Ignore that. But the wind definitely seems to be blowing and buffeting against what you can see of the walls. Some of the shrubbery that has kind of grown up and around. Yes, the shrubbery that has definitely lost it. What? A shrubbery. Yeah, some of the great.
Bush flies past, hits Vin, and keeps going.
Followed by a herring.
Yeah, some of like the weeds and twisted shrubs that are growing out of the wall up at the top of the wall seem to be bending and swaying a bit more frantically in the wind as some of the sand begins to get blown over the edge. You guys bundle yourselves into the inn, which is in turn also a little bit more crowded. There seems to be some people just standing here with baskets and some of them with children with scarves wrapped around their faces, possibly just waiting out the storm before they head back towards their own homes. You guys head back up the stairs. The innkeeper, you do glance over and you see the innkeeper kind of in the center of the room collecting what seems to be several silver pieces from the patrons that are now crowded inside. Some of them look a little bit frustrated that they're still being charged just for being within the building. He sees you and kind of shoots you a bit of a troubled look before smoothing over his expression with an ingratiating smile, seemingly remembering the gold pieces that are sitting in his pocket. You guys push your way up the stairs and into your rooms, or are you congregating in one room? What do you guys want to do?
I mean, if we're discussing, we should probably congregate.
Okay.
That would make the most sense.
Pick a room, any room. Girls' room, boys' room. The boys' room.
The only the room I remember the existence of is the honeymoon suite.
There's the girls' room or the honeymoon suite. Honeymoon suite.
Do the honeymoon suite.
All right.
Yes. So you all crowd inside. Did we say that Clover was with you guys, or was she back?
Yes, Clover was with us.
Yes.
That's why we had the conspiracy theory.
Yes.
Yes. So you close the door and are now sitting in the privacy of your room. The windows are shut, but you can now see how the wind is blowing by outside, and every once in a while the glass panes are rattling kind of a little bit disturbingly against the pressure outside, but you are at this point alone.
Okay, what kind of technological level is this area at? Because they have clear glass in the desert.
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed. Although desert would be the place.
I mean, glass would definitely be prevalent in the desert, but clear glass, not so much.
I didn't say anything about it being. Did I say it was clear?
You could see through it.
Holy crap!
Yeah, Ethan.
Fine.
I am in a sassy mood. Okay.
You're extremely sassy and way more historically accurate than than I am ever going to be. But let's put it this way: it's a fantasy world that can be as technologically advanced as I want it to be. There's a gun that's about to
Every
blow your head off.
element in this RPG system is based on history. Sorry, I just finished watching Onward. So
Also, in the World Anvil thing, it does say that Jalbar is like the most technologically advanced country around.
Exactly. And I was going to say, you have seen some of the merchants that you've seen are glass blowers who you haven't seen like window makers necessarily, but you've seen people do a whole lot of very interesting designs with pictures and glasses, as well as just art pieces. And you did notice a couple of glass art pieces at the Taleb's house. So, booyakasha.
Holy cow! What?
what?
No, he's Ethan. I'm Tasha.
No, booyakasha. Never mind.
Yeah, don't even bother.
My moment has been ruined. What do y'all want to do before a meteor drops out of the sky and obliterates all of you?
Mostly just my character.
A highly localized meteor strike.
The rest of you take 15d20 damage.
Do it. You won't.
Don't test me.
Do it. You won't.
Don't test him. Her. They.
Don't test me.
Can you
Sass
please calm
is
yourself?
real.
What do you people want to do?
Talk!
I want to look
And
up.
so Tasha the chicken was introduced.
I'm working on this.
Oh my word!
At the beginning. Anywhere. This evening.
Guys, if we ever make it big, this is not the one we're shipping to the Smithsonian, okay?
All right, the floor is yours. Y'all can talk or not talk if you so choose.
What about the ceiling? Is the ceiling mine?
No, all of it's mine. Gosh. I'm
Wow,
surrendering
guys.
the
I
floor.
licked it. It's mine.
Wow,
Coronavirus! Corona!
wow, guys, these technologically advanced windows are so cool. It inspires me to have conversation with my fellow traveling companions. Now
Why are
then,
you turning into Ford?
you have been looking like you've been wanting to say something for quite some time, so perhaps we shall discuss it forthwith.
Wait, did you say then?
I think he said you.
I said then.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
okay. Sorry, I misheard. I don't know. Thoughts on what we want to do with this truly sketchy scenario. I'm not sure why I'm not using Ben's accent.
Alright, so...
Ven.exe has stopped working.
Perhaps we can join the cult? Sounds like a fun weekend activity.
You want to
I've heard worse
join the
ideas.
cult?
I have heard worse
mean-
ideas.
I'm mildly on board. I feel like my vote would be we go and we like pretend we're joining to try and get information, but also, I mean, I think we all got to go in eyes open that these people have already tried to kill us and are super
Yeah.
sketchy.
Was there a reason that we did not? Well, I mean, I suppose other than etiquette, that we did not mention this to. What was her name?
Erin?
Erin, yes.
We
Felix,
didn't
that
mention-
was your conversation, I think.
No, you're muted. I'm not sure if you're already aware. Maybe he crashed.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Who's Aaron?
She was the librarian that you guys talked to.
Oh, is there a
Mar-
reason we did not mention them trying to kill us to the
Yeah.
brainwashed cultist? Yes, it seems like the brainwashed cultist would probably not be a wise person to disclose the fact that her friends are trying to murder us.
That's fair.
She
Is
didn't
this the
seem
same cult that
brainwashed.
I currently have the symbol of in my pocket?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, lovely.
She didn't seem brainwashed to me.
I mean, she seemed to wholly believe what she was being told, but that doesn't mean that what she was being told was the truth.
Okay.
It also doesn't necessarily
maybe
mean she was
brainwashed
brainwashed.
is strong, but the fact that we presented her with evidence that members of her cult were possibly violent or dangerous, and that was encouraged, and she refused to believe it at all, and just kept saying, "But no, that can't be.
I
No,
mean-
that can't be." That seems to indicate
Well-
that she was unwilling to believe things based on the facts.
I think you can be unwilling to believe something based on facts and not be brainwashed. I mean, there are plenty of people who have people that they care about or think highly of and refuse to believe something bad about them, and it's for entirely different reasons than that. So I think that's something to consider too.
Plus,
I'm not saying that it's impossible that they could have been brainwashed, but I mean, it's just like a thought.
We don't even
That's-
know the people who attacked us are actually from that cult. Just because you have the symbol of something doesn't mean. You think half the people running around with wearing religious symbols around their necks actually believe completely in what they're wearing
This
represents?
is true,
there's
but
also-
we can't discount the fact that we did find that symbol on them, and despite the fact that this lady, whose name I'm already forgetting, said that they were peaceful, there's that evidence, plus the fact that, she's kind of already been endorsing violence.
Let's see. We have
Wait.
the facts as presented to us. We wake up with no memories. This person from a random cult confirms that this is a common thing that happens to people just before they are mysteriously inducted to secret cult. And then we are attacked by a person bearing the seal of this cult, who calls out by name one of the members of our party.
Then we come to the city where a bunch of us have dreams which are supposedly supposed to link us to the cult, in which at least one dream was pushing towards violence.
But it doesn't
So
seem to
the
match up
connection
with the.
between
It doesn't seem to match the history though.
of what?
Of this Aphomet person.
People change, and again, it could be somebody just using her name, using the
Yes,
power
there
she has
could be.
over people.
We also did not mention any sort of this violence to her, so maybe that's something that we are also missing.
We mentioned that there was
We just mentioned that members of
violence encouraged in the dreams, and she was very confused and shocked by that.
Did you
We
guys?
also mentioned that a member of her.
I don't
Mhm.
think we mentioned that there was violence in the
You
dreams.
guys
No,
did not
she was
talk about killing
very
the Talebs.
specifically. No, we didn't talk about killing the Talebs, but we said that the dreams included things with violence and that kind of a thing, and encouragements of that, and she was very
Okay.
confused about it because that was a whole part of the conversation where she
Oh,
was
you're
like
right. You're right. You're
muttering
right.
to
I'm sorry.
herself about like, what? But this couldn't be. That's just not the way it is. She's not like that at all.
She did not seem to have answers for that. That I will admit.
She also did not have any proof of any way that she could prove or suggest that her deity is in fact benevolent and was rather astute. Sorry, I can't talk today. Whee! Was rather good at trying to avoid answering that question altogether.
Well, this returns us to the question, what do we do?
I'm gonna throw out the idea of trying to go to the pyramid and find out more. Just
I would have to
Go
agree
in.
with that one.
ready to go in, pretend that we're totally on board with all this, find out all we can, and just be prepared for the fact that it may end up being something really terrible. And that they might just, like, stab us in the back or something. I don't know.
We seem to be tied up in this one way or another, so it seems that we should go and investigate. We may wish to do something, since we were attacked, we may wish to change our appearance or something before we do so it's not as obvious who we are. If they
I can help with that.
I am not wearing an orange turban. It's not happening.
So,
Oh, I'm
I like
so
the orange
tempted to go into his room and try and put a turban on him while he's asleep.
well, hold up here 1 second, folks. All right, so if we're supposedly if we've gotten some kind of blessing from Aphomet, us,
I think it is pronounced Aphomet. Not that it matters. Go ahead.
right? Anyway, so if we're getting blessings from this pharaoh, right? So we're supposedly getting divinely touched by this. That's just based on what she said. So why wouldn't we want to not change our appearances so they know who we are and they'll trust that we came there the right way?
But
I suppose we could use it as a test.
Yeah.
If we go in looking like us and they attack us, we've got a pretty good answer, if we survive it, of course.
What if we hire some people to walk in looking like us?
Except for the fact that you're not supposed to be able to find this pyramid unless you've been called by the goddess.
if what the woman we talked to said was true, then people are drawn to this pyramid and to join the cult as a normal thing. So if we go in disguised, we can learn about the cult, and they should not have any suspicions that we are anything other than people who are drawn. If we go in as ourselves, there's a possibility that they are trying to kill us, and we will be kicked out or killed before we have a chance to learn much about what's going on and why we're missing our memories.
Also, side note, they're calling it a blessing, but I'm not really seeing how it's supposed to be helpful in any way. I mean, blessings are supposed to be good. All she's done is erase a month worth of our memories.
I've had some months I'd rather forget.
I don't, no matter how bad they were.
Yeah, I agree.
You
How
cannot
can you ever
learn-
learn from something if you don't
Right.
remember it?
You cannot grow as a person if someone erases all your memories of the moments that would cause you the biggest growth in the first place.
There are some
Information.
things that you don't need to remember to grow from them.
Information is neither good nor bad. It's all just what you do with it.
I am not calling it information. I don't know about Francis, but
I would call your memories information.
Felix is going to lean over and whisper to, what's the druid's name?
Amari.
Amari. Lean over and whisper to Amari. Perhaps before they lost their memories, the elves did not fight so much. But then they lost all that growth as a person.
do we hear this?
Yeah, do we hear that?
Do we hear
His
this?
goal is so that you don't hear it, but
Make a stealth versus perception check. And also, no, versus passive perception, because you're not trying to actively hear
I
him.
mean, but also, wouldn't we all see him lean over and whisper something to Amari?
That's fair. All right, so you can make a perception check if you so desire.
Natural one.
Crap, I changed my perception. Now I can't read my handwriting. Hang on. 18.
No, what's your roll?
16.
So Fen, you see lips moving and you're like, you hear mashed potato pie. Parsnips.
Okay, hang
And
on.
then Amari laughing. Then,
Okay.
however, you catch this snide remark. What else? What are you okaying?
I misheard you. Sorry.
Yes, and then you hear you hear this
The
snide
rhyming
remark,
names got me again.
and then Amari kind of don't say that so loud.
That is just gonna glare at him.
He can't
I
see
mean,
you.
we
Are you-
didn't
are you 30 feet
argue
away?
that much.
Ven, are you 30 feet away? He
I
can't
somehow
see
doubt
you.
that this room is 30 feet across and that
It's
we're sitting at
not.
far ends. There's not coronavirus in this universe.
That's what you think.
Oh, we're all gonna die in this world too.
You guys are inside, then you hear the innkeeper sneeze.
It's okay. I get bonuses against disease and when I'm in the sun.
What a pity there's a sandstorm right now.
The coronavirus hits and you immediately die. In point of fact, the windows are starting to rattle a little bit more because you can hear like the kind of the shower of sand being pelted against the glass.
Should that be happening?
Should that be happening? I mean,
I'm asking about the window rattling. I feel like there's a question that Francis would ask.
I don't know.
Mixed windows rattle. I would assume. I don't
like,
know.
stick a blanket up to shore it up if you want.
That's a good idea. Let's do
If
that.
it bothers you, just jam something in the window frame and it should stop rattling.
Yeah, you can do that if you so choose.
Why not?
All right.
Just
You
in
go
case.
You find a blanket, and what are you securing it with, out of curiosity? This is like completely Did you
know.
say knives?
Does anybody have any, like, nails?
I have knives.
Yeah,
I'd rather not jam them into a door frame, but...
Yeah, that's fair. Well, seeing as that we have nothing to secure it with.
Amari's gonna look at. I mean, you could just tuck it into. Couldn't you tuck it under?
Yeah,
Like,
let's
under the sill a little bit.
let's just do
Against
that.
it.
Yeah. We'll
I don't
do
know
that.
why.
Zelia, do you have any thoughts on this whole mess?
On whether or not we go and check this out? I mean, I've been when we first saw it in the desert, I mean, I kind of wanted to go check it out anyway because, I read about it forever ago and was super interested by the story that I'd read, so I think it would be interesting to check it out. Sorry, I can't talk right now. It's contagious.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I mean, I think
A known side effect of coronavirus.
Ugh. I think that I would be okay with going to check it out. I'm not sure about the disguise idea, but yeah.
Clover's gonna pipe up. Does that mean should I be in a disguise? I mean, I didn't meet you guys until after that, right?
Nope.
Although technically, in point of fact, not everyone has had a dream yet about this.
I haven't had a
so-
dream about this, but I mean, so
Not
Would-
everybody else has had a dream.
I mean, I do have a dream to see the world be a better place.
She's got a dream!
The dream.
I just want to see those floating
have-
lanterns gleam.
I have a dream. I'm here to tell. And we're back to singing about dreams, just
It's
like last time.
But I mean, I think as long as we stick with the people who have had the dreams, if what they're saying is accurate, we should be able to find it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Are we all agreed then?
I think so.
And if we have a chance at getting our memories back, think that makes it doubly worth it, don't you think?
I want my memories back.
Me too.
I want memories back.
I don't like that the last thing I can remember is the last thing I can remember.
Wouldn't that be the case even if you had your... Oh, I see. That's paradoxical.
No.
Eh.
It was intentionally paradoxical.
I'm like now considering the merits of that position.
All right.
Alright.
So we are. It is settled. We are going to go look for this pyramid. Now the question comes about.
Now or forever hold your peace. Peachy.
All right. So now the question is, how do we go about arriving at said pyramid?
I think our first bet is to try going out into the desert and seeing if we get the funny lights and the winds again.
See, we were told we'd be led there, though.
I'm wondering if that was the leading. If that was the first thing to try and push us onto the path of getting there.
Yeah.
I could be
That
wrong.
would make
It's
sense.
happened before. But I think it's worth
Yeah.
a shot, at the very least. It's the easiest method to try. Though I also think we might want to, wait till the sandstorm is over and take a day to re-provision ourselves before we go trekking out into the desert for God knows how long.
Yes, I am very much a fan of not getting lost in sand.
All right. Yeah, no, we should definitely wait till the sandstorm's over, because...
I have a few supplies that I need to buy in particular.
All right. Is there anything that we can think of that we need to buy that we do not have right now?
Food.
Do we still have our jelly sandwiches?
We should probably get food for at least a week. For everybody.
How long ago did you have said jellies? Did you get said jelly sandwiches?
Like 4 or 5 days ago. We probably ate them all by now.
Yeah, if you still have them, they're definitely moldy.
Ew.
Mold never killed anybody.
What color mold?
What do you say?
What color mold?
It's bread mold.
That's edible.
Not tasty, but edible.
We have
Mm.
4,000 gold pieces. We should not eat moldy sandwiches.
We did not
Concur.
have 4,000 gold
I
pieces.
thought we only had 2,000 gold pieces.
It was 2,000.
2,000
And
gold
I don't
pieces.
care how many
Okay,
gold pieces we have,
regardless,
we
we can
shouldn't
buy
eat
a
mold.
lot of new food.
Okay, but actually, in point of fact, fun historical fact. So if you don't know, blue and white molds are actually edible. They're not actually a problem for humans to eat. Pink and orange molds are dangerous for humans. And back in the really olden days, they would tell kids that you'd be healthier if you ate more of the blue bread.
Interesting.
Huh.
I will keep that in mind.
Neat.
As someone who's fairly allergic to mold, that makes me so uncomfortable.
Same.
I mean, they weren't. This was like the 1600s in Europe, but
Doesn't kill you, it makes you
The
stronger.
molder you starve.
It still makes me uncomfortable.
everyone lived in one room with their cows.
I like a good cow.
Yeah, and then the Black Death started. I think we
No,
know
that was
how
earlier.
That was way earlier.
I know.
Considering that some molds are antibiotic in nature, it's possible that you
I
could
didn't
be
call them-
healthier
that was
eating them.
I mean, blue mold is what makes blue cheese blue.
Blue cheese is
Okay.
disgusting. Let's just all be
I-
honest.
I'm not
concur,
arguing it's
Gabrielle.
disgusting, but it is edible.
What'd you say, Harley?
Oh, I was agreeing with you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, no,
gross,
it's
but
edible.
it's
There's a
edible.
whole lot of things that are edible that just in decent society should not be consumed.
Won't argue there.
Like elves.
No.
Is there something we should know about you, Francis?
Nah.
So, I guess we wait for the sandstorm. Maybe, what sort of supplies do we currently have? I suppose that is the good question to ask while we're all here.
All right,
Hang on.
people. Let
Let me pull up the group loop.
Group loot.
That's my job.
That's a job. That's a job.
Give me a minute.
No.
By the way, in comment referring to what Noah said, or
Yes.
Felix, the 2,000 gold pieces
Mhm.
was given 400, 200 to like, I forget who all it was given to, but there were a couple people who didn't take their portion, and they're going to need to get it from me.
At the
But it
moment, the
hasn't been brought up,
2,000
and I'm
gold
not
pieces.
going to bring it up.
At the
I
moment,
have
the
my-
2,000 gold pieces are in the group loot list.
I have some money from that in my because we all took some.
Yes.
I have.
It shouldn't be in the group loot.
I had
I remember checking if it was okay to put it in the group loot and being told it was okay.
I had 480.
Yeah, well, because 80 of that was what you had originally, and then 400 of that is what was given to you.
You're right. So that's right. I had 400.
Because there were 5 of us and
Yeah.
2,000 gold pieces.
Yes.
I know I was one of the people who does not have any. I was
Yes.
outside.
Mhm.
I wouldn't buy my share.
Well, you're going to have to bring that up to Thenmir because he won't volunteer that.
Yeah, where did all that money go?
Oh, are we getting paid now?
We never get paid.
Amari should already have a portion of it.
That's right. I think I was there.
I think only Azalea and Ven were outside at the time.
Yeah.
Does Clover have? Did you give Clover hers? I'm guessing when you got back to the room.
Clover was not there.
She was not there.
This was
Right,
being
but what-
divided so that we could get it out of the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where did all that money go, guys?
Also,
did we
when
take
did
it?
we get paid for completing the jobs with the Teles?
What did you say?
We
Ven,
worked
you
for
were the one who
Teles
went
once.
back.
What did we get paid?
Oh, I didn't write that, or I did write that down, but it's in a note on my other computer that's currently at IT. Does anybody DMing related and happen to remember how much we were offered? Also, what is that clicking sound?
Oh, sorry, that's me. I'll mute.
Sounded like those rattlesnake egg magnets.
It's my stove. It's acting weird.
Is it wet?
The starters are refusing to stop.
No, I didn't start the fire.
Andrew, that
Yes.
would be a question for you because that was child payments.
No, the second one.
Wait.
We got paid for the
Oh,
child.
right. You're right.
Yes,
The
we
question
got.
is, did we get paid for dropping off the thing?
Yeah, whatever we got paid for that should be in the group loot.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah,
In the
no.
group loot, I currently see 3,115 gold pieces.
Okay.
One
2,000
gold
of that needs
ring.
to be removed.
A monogrammed penknife, talisman, 1 padded armor, and 1 leather armor.
What talisman?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Did I tell you that you were given money? I do not remember that being part of your conversation that you guys had then, that you and Mirana had.
The Telab has paid us for returning their son.
Their son, but not delivering the box.
They promised us money for delivering the box.
That's true.
And that was
Yes,
part of the
I'm
reason why I went back was to give them the warning I gave them and to get the money. And I think what you had said was that they had one of the servants bring the money to me.
Okay, I'm
If I
trusting
recall
you on that
correctly.
one. I don't think I ever gave you a figure, so I'm gonna say it would have been 500.
Cool.
Okay.
Are you writing that down, or should I put that in the group loot?
That goes in the group loot.
Group the loot. Group the loot. Group the
So the
loot.
group
yeah.
loot needs to have 1,500 gold subtracted
It
from it.
now, 15?
1,500, yes. Subtracted from
Instead
it.
of the 2,000 subtracted that I already subtracted?
Well, then just add 500 to it.
Back! Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? If
Yes.
you take 2,000, you
math.
add 500. Yes.
Why did you take out only 1,500?
Wait, what?
Oh my gosh.
Don't worry
You
about
take
it.
out 2,000. You add in 500. How much have
Yeah,
you
I
taken
see.
away?
Oh my god, boy, cool you
I-
get.
I have no chill, and you know that. I'm also
Suddenly,
going
suddenly
completely
a
insane.
sand-
Why?
Suddenly, the mold that Thenmir is chomping on turns into orange mold, and he dies immediately.
I'm not eating. Also, the food that I have on me is dried. It won't mold very quickly.
Well, it was poisoned, so you're dead.
Highly localized meteor strike.
Well, then, I'm breaking out my absolutely broken as frick backup character. Have fun with this, DM.
Okay, so getting back to what we were doing.
Meanwhile, the rest of the
Thank
room.
Yeah, then where did all the money go?
Yeah.
I've been asked like 5 times.
At which point, I would give her 400 gold.
Why, thank you!
I was carrying it around in my pack.
Are you just giving it to her, or are you skimping on Azalea?
We didn't discuss dividing
just
it with
curious,
Azalea.
given your strength score, how are you carrying that many gold pieces around?
No comment?
Slowly.
He's just like a pouch on his neck that's just always dragging on the ground as he like slowly lurches from place to place.
He's got it like slung Santa style over his shoulder and is like hobbling down the street.
Well, what do you have left of it? Because most of it got divided up. Because like because you only have her share still left on you and yours.
Yes, so I have my own, and I just gave her hers, which, after giving her hers, I'm not going to say how much I have, because I don't want people knowing, but it takes me below 1,000 gold pieces.
Trust us?
Alright.
He clearly thinks that you're gonna rob him like he robbed you of your knife. So.
Oh, I'm not concerned about that. I'm just concerned about it from a gameplay perspective, like, having knowledge you shouldn't have, meta knowledge.
Because I'm sure knowing how much money you have matters.
I'm also not following, but for the sake of continuing the game, I'm not.
Yeah.
We can talk about it after. Because I am
Uh,
curious. I'm not disputing it. I'm just curious as to your thinking.
Point of order here. Is anybody watching out there in internet land? How was the stream doing? YouTube's saying we're having some stream status issues.
Is someone watching? Do we
There's
have an
one
audience
person
to ask?
watching, so if there's somebody out there
That's good.
watching, could you let us know how well the stream's coming in for you in the chat box?
Is it Scott?
Who is it?
I don't
Who
know.
be it? Identify yourself.
Oh wait, hold on.
Biohazard protocols are in effect. Identify yourself. But
Can somebody just somebody can check on their phone, just check the stream real quick to make sure everything's coming in okay?
I'm checking.
Alright, thanks, Ethan.
Thanks, Ethan. All right, so you guys have your gold sorted out. You may just proceed, I guess.
Alright.
There's not anything for me to DM right now.
We're basically just waiting out the storm for the time being. Is that it?
And I think you guys were saying that you're going to assess what supplies you guys have.
And
Uh,
not eat mold.
Yes.
Stream seems to be working just fine.
Alright, that's cool. That's cool. YouTube not receiving enough video to maintain smooth stream. I don't know what that means, but the stream looks okay to Ethan. It looks good to me.
Alrighty.
Well, back to normal. Sorry about that, folks. Is there anything that anybody wants to do before we move on here?
Yes.
Oh,
While we're
dear.
talking, I want to work on continuing to build Azalea's roller skates.
Alright, excellent.
Her roller skates. Alright. Do me a favor and make a craft check.
Aye.
How long would you like to spend on this, actually? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, how long is the sandstorm? Ooh.
I'd say it dies down in about an hour.
All right, then I'll spend like the hour.
Okay.
That's a whole 15.
15. How much progress had you made before? Do you know?
I don't remember.
That's
It was
fine.
a long while back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you make 2 checks. It's like one every half hour.
Okay. And a natural 20.
Ooh, nice. All right, so I'm gonna say you had like started sketching out the plans, and what are you making them out of? Out of curiosity.
I feel like I asked if Azalea had spare boots I could use.
I don't think she did.
What stuff do I have? I mean, I do have tinkering equipment. So I imagine that would include some basic, wheels, axles kind of stuff. I'm basically trying to make it like a crampon where you can attach it to a different boot.
Okay. I would say that you definitely could get some. I would say like maybe you have some leather hanging around. I guess I'm more curious as to like what you're making the wheels out of.
I mean, I think that depends a little bit on what's in the tinkering kit.
Oh, we can definitely
I'll look
see.
it up. Hang on.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like I feel like I'm not entirely sure that you would necessarily have that.
What is she looking for? Your tinkering kit?
Well, we're trying to figure out first what's in a tinkering kit,
Ah,
and then we can figure out what we're making roller skates out of.
bodies of dead enemies.
Slight problem, though. I'm not finding that.
Well, what kind of things do you usually like tinker to like? What are some things that Ven would?
I imagine wood, leather, and metal would probably be basic stuff she'd work with.
Okay. I will say that you have wood to make like the platforms, and you're able to like get, and you would have some leather for it. I'm trying to think. I don't. Part of it is like my own lack of understanding, but I'm gonna say because you got a natural 20, you're able to devise a way to start shaping like the wheels for it. Because I'm assuming you're just gonna make wooden wheels
For the time being, yeah.
Okay.
As a note, Tinker's kits do not exist in Pathfinder.
Oh, is it a D&D?
Yeah, I'm looking at a complete list of Tinker's kits or of kits in Pathfinder, and Tinker's kits are not one of them.
Okay.
Same.
We
There
can-
are like tools that you can
Like
do that with,
artisans'
like
tools, yeah.
Artisans' tools, masterwork tool.
Okay. Well,
Those
I'm
kinds of
perfectly
things.
fine with having some bleed over, so we can. So I'll make a note of that, and I'll look in D&D, and then we can just copy it over. Honestly, I'm fine with just merging the two and saying that that's what you have. That way, it'll be easier for you to keep track of as well. But yeah. So as a result, because you're just working with the Tinker's kit, and I'm assuming you're not going to have all the equipment that you would need to make like a fully formed wheel very quickly, I'm going to say that you are able to you're able to cut the wood and start working on the first wheel, and it's going really well. You're very happy with the progress that you made, and with that natural 20, I would say that you're able to cut out you're able to cut the wood for the first two and make some significant progress on the first one.
Also, even more slight problems. Looking through the D&D thing, the core rulebooks doesn't actually say what's in it.
What's in what?
A tinkerer's kit, tinkerer's tools.
Well,
Tinkerer's
that
tools,
useful.
in my understanding, based on what I've read before, Tinkerer's tools would include like small pliers, simple tweaker screwdrivers,
Hammers, probably.
a small hammer or two, usually
Probably some
tongs,
minor leatherworking tools.
like a leatherworking punch and needle, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be everything that would be necessary to do simple crafting with leather, wood, stone, and iron.
Okay, I'm happy.
Other
with that.
than forging tools, like you wouldn't have your forging hammer and stuff.
Dang it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that you would have some, and you would have something to like shape the wood, like sand it down
Alright,
or
so
shave it down. I don't know how woodworking works.
She would probably also
Azalea knows-
quickly call Azalea over to try and measure her feet.
What did it?
Yeah, Azalea. I was gonna ask if Azalea knew that was what you were working on, because she'll let you measure whatever.
Hey,
you need
Azalea,
to
can
and,
I
like,
see your
give you her
feet,
boots.
please?
Sure.
Woohoo!
Azalea is like super
Get your mind
appreciative
out of the gutter, Ethan.
It's
and
always in the
knows
gutter
you a
anyway.
lot, and will like let you take her boots if you need to or whatever to work on stuff. But she's going to thank you like 20 times in the course of the
That's
hour.
good. Hopefully
You
this will
should
make
make-
it a little easier.
You should make her ones that are like skis, so that while we're out in the desert, she can just ski.
Yeah, skis
that.
require a lot more material than wheeled shoes.
Could you add? Could you do like a platform, sort of like a planed, like a
We could get like a
curved
sled.
plane? Something.
If
I don't
if
know
you
what-
get me the tools to make you skis, I will try to make you skis.
Well, I don't mean like full skis.
I'm not
Not
sure.
like-
Ravenna, I
Yes.
recall the toboggans we played with as children.
Yes.
It wouldn't be hard to recreate one of those, would it?
Probably not.
What is a toboggan?
It's like a sled.
What's
But with rails.
Rails. Yeah.
What's a sled?
Oh, that's right. You've never seen snow.
I've heard many
It's-
stories.
It's
of
a platform on rails that you glide down low frictive surfaces on. I don't know if I know about friction.
That's English.
Hills? Slippery hills.
Or can be pulled by a horse.
Or yeah.
It's a vehicle without wheels. It's just a platform that's dragged or pulled.
I'm not sure how
whilst
well it
on
would
hill.
work in sand.
Well, I don't quite understand those things, but if you had like a flat sort of or a curved plane of wood that you attached, sort of like you're doing with the roller skates, and then she could slide or be pulled with a rope. We used to have them we had hills in the Black Jungle, and we would slide down on them across surfaces. We called them skimmers. So basically, what I'm saying, I don't know if you're
Sorry,
gonna.
I'm causing so much trouble, guys.
Don't you dare
You're fine.
apologize.
No, not causing trouble. This is fun. We get to think of things. So basically, what I'm saying is like, okay, so like if you took like a sled, like a regular sled, and stuck it on her feet, but made them small, and then you could just like pull her.
Tiny.
So like snowshoes.
Yeah, but
Yes,
snowshoes aren't so much of a pull thing.
Yeah, but not with like, you know how like with snowshoes it's like a tent. They'd have like
It's like skis.
yeah, like
See, I'm not sure a
Which is where we
sled-like
started.
thing would work very well on sand because sand has a high coefficient of friction.
you would definitely know that better than me. So that was just my.
That's why sandpaper is rough and rubs on things well.
Gotcha. Okay.
Think of it like that.
You can like if you got sand dunes, it works fine because people go sledding down sand dunes all the time.
Right, but down sand dunes is a little different than trying to make
Cross
normal speed faster.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not sure that adding
Sure.
the point of the rollerblades was to try and make it easier for her to move around a bit faster on most surfaces.
Like
I'm not
when
sure.
we need to run from things.
Right, like on city streets or in a cave.
So it's basically
Right.
just
Right.
hot.
I
So
doubt
basically,
sand
it's
is going to be anything.
But I'm not sure there's much I can do on sand for moving horizontally that will increase her speed. Well,
rockets.
I will say that you say as much to Amari, and Amari is just like, okay.
Fen might have a point with a toboggan, but it would definitely need metalworking
Mm-hmm.
and would probably get worn down depressingly quickly. I actually don't know how well metal and sand interact. I've never had to do that work before, but
It does
Kidding.
not take long to wear it
Weathering.
out.
Yeah.
so
Weathering, yeah.
well, I'm
I mean,
not
like
sure.
when you're metal lathing something, you use sandpaper to smooth off your cuts.
I'm going to trust you
so-
on that one.
Okay.
All right. So yeah,
So
I'm gonna.
I don't have experience with the metal lathing part. I have experience with some of the rest of this stuff, but not with sand and metal interacting. So I'm going to take your expertise on this, Ethan.
Okay.
It's complimented.
Huh?
Okay. All right. I am gonna. Yeah. So I'm gonna say that's the progress that you're able to make.
Right.
At this point, you guys look outside, and it does seem that the storm is starting to blow by. The window, outside the window, the wind seems to have died down significantly. And you think you can hear if you remove the blanket, because it's creating a little bit of insulation. You can hear people starting to talk a little bit more in the streets, and it sounds like downstairs, some of the voices are starting to diminish. So, if you look around, or if you go down and look out, you can see that that people are kind of streaming back into the streets at this point.
I did want to bring up something that I was working on.
Yes.
I was working on this with Andrew. So Andrew, you're probably going to be.
Yes.
I wanted to continue working on my project.
Sure.
How
close are you to being finished?
So as far as I had gotten was to I had plans drawn up and I had wanted to go wood shopping,
Sure.
but I don't know that the wood shopping ever happened because after I brought it up, a bunch of the other things ended up happening.
No, you did not go wood shopping yet, but you are welcome to. If Gabrielle's okay with it, you're welcome.
If you want to add that to your stuff, you can definitely.
Sure.
Okay, so I would like to go shopping for wood.
Okay.
Okay.
Was there anything else that you guys wanted to do in the hour that you were waiting for the sandstorm to die down?
Well, if I had gotten the wood and was wrong about the assumption that I hadn't, I wanted to work on that.
Oh,
So-
I see. I
Yeah.
see.
All right. Sure. Okay.
I would say most likely you guys have not had the chance to do that. If you want to go shopping now that the storm is over.
Cool.
I'd like
Yeah.
to pick if you're going shopping for that kind of thing, I might either join you or ask you to pick up some stuff for Azalea's roller blades.
That can
Okay.
definitely be arranged, but I do want to just check. Did anybody have anything that they want to do while the sandstorm was happening?
I want to take out those maps and charts that I copied from the books,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get anybody who's willing to learn them to try and learn them with me.
Okay.
I'll take a look tonight.
Okay, cool.
Is anyone
Felix will
jumping?
study in with you.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah, I
Felix and Felix, Azalea, and Francis. You guys are trying to learn maps. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna be weird, and I'm going to make it a knowledge. Just make a general knowledge geography check,
Knowledge
which
geography.
I'm assuming for a lot of you is just going to be a straight intelligence check. But
Hold on a second. No, for me it is a class skill.
yeah, good.
Knowledge geography.
I rolled a 2.
Wait, I thought we didn't have bonuses for class skills. except for
Total
the
of
one.
8.
No, we don't. I'm just saying it's one of the skills that I put ranks into.
You're saying you
Sorry.
put ranks into it.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. What are you? This is really bad. Goes to show that I don't know my character. What is your class, Francis?
oh, I'm a ranger.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm getting you mixed up with other characters.
I'm
So,
a two-handed ranger, but I don't think I have 2 swords.
You don't have a second thing to wield.
Yeah.
You haven't picked one up from all the people we've beat
okay.
up.
Hey, that sounds like something you might want to go shopping for.
Yeah, I think I will go
Azalea
shopping.
got a 2.
No, I got a total of 8.
Oh, a total of 8. Okay.
I got a total of 24.
24.
13.
Nice. And 17.
13.
Oh, 13. All right. Francis, you basically already have this down. You've been poring over these maps. You did the copying. You were learning a lot, and this is just kind of just your thing. Before long, you have the maps relatively memorized. It might need 1 or 2 more peeks, but you could pretty easily figure out your way around Jalbar
Okay.
from at least a macro perspective. And you have a very good idea at this point of the city streets of Tamarna. Azalea, it's not going so great. You know a little. You're pretty sure you know how to get from here to the library by memory, and you could probably get a little bit past the temple. But beyond that, it just keeps getting fuzzier and fuzzier, and you're not quite sure. It takes a bit to remember. Okay, Tamarna's here, and Kakapit is there, but what's that one town next door? Dang it. It's not quite sticking for you. Felix, you're also doing pretty good. Like, you can remember most of the layout of the city. And you recognize, and you are pretty sure you remember the neighboring towns and cities, and you have a good idea of how far it is to Kakapit, but you're also struggling a little bit, but you're getting there. Anything
Andrew,
else?
check Facebook.
I will.
Anything else that anybody wants to be doing?
All right. So Azalea. So Felix is doing pretty well as well.
Yes. Well, relatively well.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. Barring that, now that the storm is over, what I know, at least one person is going shopping. Ven, did you decide if you're going to go with?
Yes, that depends on how Fen feels about that idea.
I don't mind.
Felix wants to go.
Although, before I leave, I would like to give probably 50 gold to Azalea and tell her that she seems to know the best about what foods are good for keeping for a long time and traveling and stuff like that. Just stock up on everything she thinks would be good.
Oh, that's a good
I
idea.
guess everyone
Okay, I can do
is,
that.
Azalea's getting food for everyone, and I guess everyone goes out and takes care of getting what they need to get, and we
Yeah.
all meet back here tonight.
Sounds good to me.
Alrighty.
Let's
All right,
see. That's what I want to do.
Cue sad Travis face.
Boo, 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 boo-doo-doo.
Shopping trip. Francis, where are you heading? Good sir?
I'm gonna go. I just want to take along with the group, but I want to find.
That?
What
Sorry,
the heck was that?
I don't know. My phone made a weird noise.
That was just disturbing.
That was your phone?
That was my phone.
Was it a video?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
You might want to check and make sure your ringtone wasn't changed by a prankster.
I think it might have been.
A prankster.
Need some slack here.
Tasha's phone caught coronavirus and turned into a zombie.
Yeah, I wanted zombies, not the flu. This apocalypse sucks. Like, at least I would have gotten some target practice in on zombies.
Right. It would have been interesting instead of, well, I mean, maybe we all would have.
I could have broken out my Walking Dead knowledge and gotten out my crossbow. You know, it would have been great.
Read Your Brains would have been such a relevant song. Nobody
Okay.
knows that song.
Now we're going
It's
to
a funny
bris-
song.
Now we're going to avoid the zombies and walking briskly in the other direction.
All right. So Francis, you were saying what? You were
I was
doing
thinking
what?
I wanted to go see if I can find some head coverings for people, like get some head coverings and some maybe some
For nooses, baby, basically.
yeah like things to cover our heads so that we do not die in the desert.
For nooses, basically.
Yeah, those.
All right. So we got head coverings. We have leather, and what are you looking for? Then just wood.
Whatever stuff I need to do Azalea's things.
Okay.
Don't know. Since we never decided what I had and what I needed,
Yes.
Yeah,
it makes it a little bit hard to say.
Yeah, you're both gonna. You and who else is looking for? Fen is
Fen.
looking for wood, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna say you probably need some more wood at this point. Then.
Huh.
And if what did you want to have, wood axles or metal axles?
No, I want metal axles.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably need a blacksmith for that.
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm gonna bring up to Cervena that we should probably get some thin like ceramic fluted files about that big, so that we can cut rings and have ceramic bearings for her axles.
Good idea.
So you're looking for what? A file?
File PHIAL. Ceramic files. They're like the fluted test tubes, kind of, but they're
Mhm.
made out of ceramic.
Okay, I'll look for it. I think I know what you're talking about. That's a lie.
Basically, think ceramic test tube.
Wait. Alright. So a ceramic test tube?
You said it's
Basically,
spelled how? PH?
PH.
Oh, file?
PHIAL.
Yeah.
AL. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to think. This is like not being helpful in any way,
What
shape,
is
or
not?
form.
I'll send you an image.
Thank you. How expensive are they in real life?
Not. Especially
Okay.
if they're made out of ceramic.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because the only thing that's coming up when I do that is like, it's an alternative spelling of vial. Like, I find that unlikely. Alrighty.
I just messaged you the picture.
Interesting. Alright, cool. That should be relatively easy to find. Or at least buy. Alright. So we're looking for head coverings, food, a whole bunch of leather stuff. Felix, is there anything that you are specifically looking for?
Yes. Felix would like to buy. First of all, he wants to buy himself an extra pair of clothes.
He
Alright.
wants to buy what?
An extra set of clothes.
Clothes. Just
Sure.
clothes in general.
But he also wants to buy some more sticks, because most of the ones he had 3 of them before, and I think 2 of them are broken or gone now or turned into an umbrella.
So like turned it like a bundle of sticks or like a staff or
No,
what?
like short spears. He wants to buy short spears
Okay.
that he can use as like walking stick like things.
Okay.
All right.
And then he also wants to buy a flask of lamp oil.
A flask. I'm sorry, you're really hard to hear. A flask of what?
Oh, sorry. A flask of lamp oil.
Okay, lamp oil.
So,
And a bag of marbles. He wants some marbles.
Boulderings!
Yes.
No! That was not the goal, but okay.
Sorry.
Alright, so we required head coverings. Looking for so we required head coverings.
The episode where we only go shopping.
Yeah. Okay. We're trying. All right. So you guys all head out. I'm assuming in a group. Are you guys all sticking together? Are you dispersing? Please stick together.
I think dispersing will be faster.
I don't know. Like,
I cast lots to see who goes first. No, I'm kidding.
Take a buddy.
Well, I just remembered a couple other things you wanted to buy.
I mean, most of us are going to probably the things that you can buy within a few stands of each other, though. So
Most likely,
it kind of makes sense that we would go together. At least I think.
Honestly, I don't know why I'm asking. It probably doesn't make that much of a difference.
Okay.
So eeny meeny miny mo. We're gonna go with Azalea. Did Azalea request anything?
Azalea didn't have anything she needed to buy, but she's gonna go take care of the food.
Food. All right. We're going to deal with food first.
Cool.
What would you like to buy?
Oh, did anybody have like dietary preferences?
Yes, I only dine on 5-course meals, complete with a different wine for each course.
Yes, I'm vegan. So
Okay, I'll go
I'm
get my
gluten-free.
coupons. We're gonna budget shop this.
I'm vegan and gluten-free, and like...
Felix
only
doesn't like
drink-
onions.
A
I
different
only drink cashew milk.
a different milk for each, a different dinner for each course. How good can the dinner be if you can't remember it afterwards?
Seriously, for work, I literally would have to grocery shop for trips sometimes, and we had different students. Some of what we had all of these. Me being vegetarian, a gluten-free, a dairy-free, and a soy-free.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, and soy-free, and I don't like plants.
But I'm vegan. So
Great, so you eat nothing.
I'm a carnivore only.
I subsist on air and light alone.
And tofurkey.
Okay, so I'm
'cause
gonna buy
That's
bread.
Felix.
Who only knows when it's in tofurkey?
Felix, you're that chicken bone who's trying to turn into a Barbie doll.
Nope, so I'll just go for like general rations, breads, dried things, nuts.
Dried fruits and meat.
Yeah,
And
okay.
that was what I meant by things.
And how many days are you
what kind
trying
of
to
nuts
purchase
grow in the
for?
desert?
Probably like 5 or 6,
5
like
or
a week, which would
Okay.
be 7, not 5. I was trying to say 6 or 7.
And I gave 50 gold to you for it. I don't know if anybody else was going to chip in on it, but
I'll throw in a
I
little bit.
can. I'll throw in.
I'll throw. How much is it?
Tell you what, just tell us how much it is at the end, and I'll pay you back then.
That would make sense.
Yeah, no, same.
All right. So, Azalea, you head off into the streets, and you are quickly swept up by the crowd as they head back into the market now that the sandstorm has passed. And it is not long before you find yourself in basically the street or in the section where most of I guess groceries, you can call them, are sold. There are carts filled with different spices from all across Jalbar. Amari, who is sticking with you, points out a couple that she recognizes from the Black Jungle. The mixture smells exquisite. You see cloves, which makes Amari laugh at Clover. Cinnamon ground up. You see paprikas, different peppers that you don't recognize, all sorts of different things. And then next to it, fruits of every single variety. Stop making faces.
No, you said when you said cloves, I thought you said clothes, and I'm like, why is seeing clothes making her laugh at Clover?
You see, yes, you find a stand filled with fruits of every variety, many of them fresh, different pears from cacti, and melons, and different berries that you haven't seen before, all with different smells, and some of them a bit more pungent than others. Next to these, you do see a wide variety of dried fruits, a lot of dried like apricots and dates, and kind of lots of high sugar content. there are a couple that are of sort of long fruits that you don't recognize that seem sort of like a plantain almost, but you're not entirely, you don't quite recognize them. If you want to get that, I would say this is just gonna start guessing at this point. If you want to get like
Wait,
like a couple of pounds, how many are you
6. We are. Wait, are we counting we're 6 including Clover. No, we're 7 including Clover.
7 including Clover.
7 including Clover.
Or 3 meals a day for 7 days.
7. Okay, so it's 7. So it's 7 days. Okay, hold on.
7 times 7 times 3.
I'm gonna say that you guys probably go through then like a pound of dried fruit a day.
Between us all, I
It depends.
I'm laughing at Tasha's eyes.
Getting them all. I
Are
don't
you
know.
saying each person goes through a pound of dried fruit a day?
No, the entire people.
Oh, okay, there we go.
I was seriously starting to believe that diarrhea was going to be a
I was just-
consider in our group.
We never make it to the pyramid because everyone's running off over the next dune.
we all.
Sorry guys, give me a minute.
Each of you is getting a pound of prunes every single meal.
Ooh, dang it. I mean, I like
I mean,
prunes, but I
I
don't
would
like prunes that much.
Just like, I'm trying to think. A pound of raisins. Yeah, I would say
A pound of raisins is like one of those big bags from Costco. That
Yeah.
come in 2 packs. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say you guys probably, that's almost probably conservative then. But yeah, let's call it a pound across all of you of dried fruit.
Okay.
A day.
All right. Hold on. Okay,
If
so
you're getting enough for a week.
that's 7 pounds.
7 pounds.
Pounds of dried fruit / sweetmeats.
No, it's just, I don't know. That you can mix in if you're like looking for like snacky like sweetmeats. I'm saying that's different from like your dried meats that you're gonna be getting.
That's
But you can make it a mixture of
fair.
that. In which case, that's 7 pounds. Let's call that. I'm gonna call it 10 silver.
Okay, 10 silver. And we're. Wait, hold on. Okay, so I'm trying to figure this out weight wise. Okay, so hold on. Sorry.
Do you mind holding off on that? Just
Oh
so
yeah,
we-
no, sure, go ahead.
Because it's going to be easier if you do all of your calculations once you have everything.
That's right. My other question: are we counting nuts as part of the dried fruit, or are nuts a different thing?
Were you looking for nuts?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You mentioned them, and I was curious.
I figured we could have like a trail mix, kind of like nuts
Ooh,
and fruits.
How charming.
And then we could
This is
Right,
clearly
then-
why Azalea was the right person to go
Yeah.
food shopping.
we
The
could
only
have
important part
peanut
of trail
butter and
mix is the
honey
chocolate.
tortillas.
Truth.
Ooh.
What? What about tortillas?
Peanut butter honey tortillas. We can make
Ooh.
mini pizzas on like
allergic to nuts.
bagels.
Wait,
Well,
what?
then your portion won't have nuts in it. You can just have the dried fruit. We'll get you some little pretzels, maybe.
Brandon, his momland is coming back in full force.
We'll give you some pretzels, maybe.
Momlin strikes again.
Ugh.
Mamalia? I don't know. Mazalia? Momzalia?
No.
Azalea's more like older sister, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, I feel it. I dig it. I vibe.
Cisalia? I don't know. Anyway, yeah,
Cisalia.
you can count the nuts in there. I guess I won't be overly realistic because nuts would definitely probably bring it up to like 12 silver pieces because nuts are expensive for no good reason.
I agree.
Concur.
Now I want some nuts.
I go for some nuts.
Okay.
I think I have some almonds.
Also, I need to recount. Yeah, no, you can't. It wouldn't be 10 silver pieces per 7 pounds. Because that would divide out so funky.
So we.
Sorry, make that. I'm gonna say for the whole mix of 7 pounds of nuts and everything else, make it 14 silver
Okay.
pieces. And it's like that's closer
a
to
lot
like
of nuts.
2 silver pieces a
Yum.
pound.
Yum.
Well, that's for like everything.
It's like a mix of walnuts, almonds,
Almonds,
hazelnuts, cashews.
Yeah, so that takes care of all your fruits and your nuts. I should have thought this out a lot harder. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. This
So
is great.
you pay for your nuts.
I feel like I missed something funny. What did you say so I can put it in the quotes list?
So you pay for your nuts
There we go.
because we're mature.
We are.
You pay for your
That's one way to put that.
you pay for your dried snacks, and hand the silver pieces to an older tabaxi who has a sprinkling of gray throughout her fur, and she smiles at you. Are you sure I cannot interest you in some of the fresh melons? They are picked from the Pharaoh's garden. He is
Oh,
very fond of them. Are you sure?
they
they're
look
not
delicious, but we're traveling and we want to make sure we have things that keep. But thank you so much.
absolutely.
It looks delicious.
You're quite welcome. Do not forget us. Come on back at some point. So yes. So you head out from there and move on to a second stand. Is Harley frozen for anybody else?
Yes, she is. She's very frozen at the moment.
It's a very charming smile.
It is. At first, literally, she's going. Yes.
We'll be back right after these messages.
Da 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 da.
So we'll come back to our food shopping adventure shortly. In this same kind of, I guess it'd be relatively the same household type of things. Somebody wanted lamp oil. That was Felix, I
Yep.
think.
Yes.
How much lamp oil are you looking for?
Just one flask. Lamp
Cat
oil.
belly.
You belly.
Sorry, I interrupted.
The log. Yes. Okay. So then I'm gonna say so. Pint. How big is a pint? I don't know. A pint.
How
A
big
pint
is
is 2 cups, right?
The lamp oil is in the
I found it. It's 6 pints. It's a
Standard.
pint of oil, and it's a silver piece.
So a pint's
Do
like
you want an entire pint?
the pint's like the little things of heavy
Yes.
cream you get.
Oh yeah, duh. All right, so you get.
It's
a
always
pint.
useful to have something that can easily ignite and form a fire.
Yes.
Apparently
That's not you.
Yes. You back.
My computer froze.
Okay, cool.
You're all good. We took a break from the grocery shopping, so that we could give you
Okay.
a second to get back. So Felix, I'm going to say that you get yourself a pint of lamp oil. It's 1 pound, and I am taking note of weight because it's going to matter if you're trekking out into the desert. And it's 1 silver piece.
Yes.
All right, so you now have your lamp oil. Out of curiosity, do you have a lamp?
No.
Okay.
We all know what that's for now.
Yes, would you also like some glass bottles and some pieces of cloth?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just wanting some lamp oil, but
He's gonna drink it, guys. You know, it helps with the digestion.
No, it helps him have that good glow.
I literally do glow, so
Yeah.
Rub it into my skin every day, and it just makes me look amazing.
Essential medieval desert oils.
Yes.
Is there shop a pyramid
Felix has
scheme?
literally no use for a lamp. He's blind. So
Yes. Welcome to back to Melinda's Essential Oils Network. And so we have the lavender oil taken from the gardens of the Pharaoh himself. And I rub it into my eyelashes so that they will grow to be about 6 feet long and brush everyone's faces like. I'm sorry.
Are you
I
Gwyneth
got lost.
Paltrow?
What?
Are you Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yes.
It's all about the goop. It's all about the goop, baby.
We're getting pretty far out.
Sorry.
All right. I'm like ultimately trying to mark this stuff off of my shopping list.
Okay, so we have. Wait, do we get bread?
We are going to go back
Okay,
to our
okay.
shopping episode,
Alright,
to
sorry.
our grocery shopping
Okay.
halfling. Whenever you're ready, Harley.
Okay, I think I'm good. It should be back on.
Okay, excellent. So, next you move on to a cart that is selling all kinds of meats, and they're in all kinds of dried meats, I should clarify, and they're in all shapes and sizes. There are full, like, long lengths of what seems to be just one whole flank of probably a cow or
That's
something.
nasty.
It's like flank
Oh,
steak,
that's
but like
nasty.
Ugh. No.
it's mostly beef.
Beef. Okay.
I don't know donkey maybe. Do they eat donkeys? But there's all kinds of meats that you can get here. Most of them range from like 3 silver pieces a pound to, depending on what like cut it's from, they might be up to like 10. But how many? Well, I guess I can calculate that for you, so you don't have to worry about it. So you're getting enough for 7. How many of you are vegetarian or vegan? Legitimately.
Is Amari because druids? I don't know.
That's a very good question. I don't know if that's true.
Druids
Or I
are
don't
not necessarily vegetarian,
Yeah.
but I do know that they tend to eat whatever has the least effect on nature. So, like, they'll eat meats that were, like, responsibly farmed, and they'll eat vegetables, but not vegetables that are, like, you know, incredibly destructive to grow.
Okay, good to know.
Makes sense.
All right, so I'm gonna say
She eats only non-native species to whatever region she's in.
Just leave
That's sort of the invasive species.
python skewers.
so. I'm making this democratic
Okay.
and collaborative because I'm not smart enough to do all of this on my own. If a pound,
Yes.
don't laugh at me. If a pound of Jack Link's teriyaki beef jerky is a pound, it like if you get like a pound in one of those typical bags, are you gonna eat a pound of that?
I know a guy that eats like 3 pounds in one sitting.
That's
Okay,
not
I
healthy.
can't even eat a half pound of meat in one sitting.
I can't eat any.
That's
limit
just vile.
Of eating
Please
beef
tell him to
jerky
stop.
is usually money and not appetite.
What do you
That's
say?
true.
The limit to eating beef jerky is usually money and not appetite.
Beef
But
jerky is
if you
fantastic.
were rich enough to just eat beef jerky all the time, I'm gonna say that you guys need.
I mean, like, I can't make it through a half-pound burger for dinner. I don't think I've ever succeeded in that.
It's
This is
easy to
dry-
eat
dry
straight up
strip
beef jerky, though.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like beef jerky is one of those things where like,
different.
you eat a little bit at a time, and that's what it's for.
3
Yeah,
or
that's why
4
it's so
ounces
chewy,
is
so that you can
usually
just
a
keep
typical
chewing and
serving
think
of
you're
beef
eating more
jerky.
than you actually are.
Yeah.
It's lembas meat.
Yes.
All right. So how do you get? So how about half a pound for each person? You're getting enough for half a pound for each person.
That's healthy.
Jay, it's really not. I'm taking sodium.
It'll help us
7
retain
to
water, though.
3.5 times 7 days. That's 3.5 pounds for the entire party for 7 days. Fast math, 24.5. That is
24.5 pounds?
How many of you want to go light on your food?
24
Why don't we just
pounds?
get a horse?
Well, I was gonna ask that. Like,
I
are you
mean,
guys
let's just
gonna-
buy a whole freaking pig while we're at it.
There are no
pig is
pigs on the
800
Oregon
pounds of meat.
Trail.
I know, I'm
So you're
joking.
aware.
I know, I'm joking.
Y'all said that you wanted food for a whole week. I'm trying to be.
Why don't we just...
Yeah, but we're also like a half pound of meat and a half pound of fruits and nuts
Yeah,
every
I think
day.
we can
Seems like
go
a
light.
lot of food.
Okay,
We
here,
got.
Yeah.
We can go a little bit lighter on the meat, especially since I think we have enough. Like, we have nuts, so there's protein in that.
Here's the thing,
Alright,
but
let's
we don't know how
overpacking,
far
we're
we
gonna-
are away, so we should probably overpack on food because we don't know how far away we're going to be.
Yeah.
Right. If we're
And I
going
will
to the
note-
desert, we want a lot of food. What we should do is spend the money to buy a pony, and then just pack all the food on the pony.
He's
I
got
will
worse
note,
ideas.
however,
But then we have to feed the pony.
can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sorry.
Okay. It's just my mic has been glitching out. So. I will note, I didn't really get a chance to say it, but Fenmir does not eat as much meat as he does other things. Like, he'll eat it when it's there, but he doesn't need it.
Okay,
Okay.
then
I mean, Azalea specifically asked, so like.
so she would know that. All right, so then let's knock it down to 20 pound.
20 pound.
At this point, I'm guessing just for the sake of
Is
time,
it-
so that we're not
is-
here till
am-
midnight.
Is somebody else keeping track of the food, or am I the person who's writing down the amounts?
Yeah, I would greatly appreciate it if somebody did that.
I'm on it.
All right, so you guys have 20 pounds of meat
Mhm.
at, I'm going to say you guys went for something conservative, so that's going to be 20 times 3 is 60 silver pieces.
Okay.
Which is 6 gold. Because 10 silver pieces to a thing.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your meat. What else were you planning to get? Are you getting bread? People
Yeah, I'll get bread.
And some
Like
preserves.
hardtack crackers or actual bread?
We can do a mixture
You
of both.
can get both. So
Yeah.
you move on to the
They're
cart.
pretty light in
Yes.
general.
I'm having so much fun describing these.
Do we have baguette holsters?
No.
Sorry.
So also in the back you notice that with the dried meat there's all kinds of like butchers cutting, like butcher hangings, like
Ooh.
a lot of them are wrapped in like some sort of like light paper, but and just to kind of help with the flies that are everywhere, but there's every single cut of also fresh meat here. It's kind of wafting towards you, and it's starting to just some of it is starting to smell just a little bit because of the heat, but
Eh.
it's food. It's cool. So you move on, and the next cart, a couple carts over, you find a very large spread of baked goods, and there's everything under the sun. There are large artisanal rolls. There are ones covered with like seeds and different meat from different grains. There are very basic unleavened like flatbreads. There are some that you notice are sort of looks kind of like a tortilla, but it's hard, like it's crunchy but thin type of thing, almost like a big round cracker.
Neat.
And also along with it, there are different spreads. There's bowls. There's like date cakes. I know that they're usually a cake of dates, but little me did not understand that, so it's a cake made with dates in it, and that's also available. There's also different sort of sweet treats there. What type of bread are you interested in? Would you like grain bread?
Ooh, grain bread is good. I like
Yes.
grain bread.
There's a seller who comes up to you. Yes, we have all. Everything is perfectly fresh, baked straight out of the oven this morning and this afternoon, and brought right here. You feel it? It's still hot. There are rolls also as well. We're working on that. My wife will be bringing them from the house in just a short few moments. How can I help you?
As Azalea smiles and is like, "Oh well, thank you so much. It smells fantastic. We're just looking for some pretty basic stuff. We'll be traveling, so we don't need anything too fancy. But I think some basic grain bread and some more cracker type things would be perfect."
Perfect. Yes. So many of our travelers, they ask for the flatbread. The flatbread,
Nice and easy to pack.
yes, you can get many stacks of it, yes.
The foldable one or the
yes.
big cracker one?
Say again?
The big cracker one or the bendy one?
There's just a regular floppy, like flatbread,
Oh,
almost
okay,
like
okay.
pizza, like a pizza bread.
Right, cool.
But there are the cracker ones. Are you still interested? Would you like to buy the flat crackers?
I mean, I think I'd like to get both. I think it would be helpful.
Excellent. All right.
Wise.
And we do have some of these the pizzas with more grains in them if you don't want to buy an entire loaf. How many can I get for you? Let's think about this as well. Are all of you going to eat a pita per meal? Or do you want
Probably
No.
not.
No.
No. Probably not.
I mean-
how much food do you think we eat?
We're
So
just-
far, we're up to about
How much
we're up
food
to about
do you
2
eat in a
pounds a
day?
day.
Permission.
Traveling in the desert, you do not eat very much. You're going to be drinking a lot.
Permission to change our
So
name from
you
the
do have
Forgotten
more
to
than that.
Country Buffet, the old Country Buffet, the old Country Buffet gang.
I disagree. It's very easy to eat multiple pounds of food in a day, especially when you're hiking all day long and burning a ton of calories.
That's also
Yeah.
true. That like
Also, Azalea is probably like, I mean, Azalea's smart, but she's also like, I would eat this much, and Azalea eats more meals a day than any of you guys do.
Azalea eats a lot.
also it's best to over prepare in the food department than to run out.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not arguing about
And
that's
overpreparing,
where-
but God, holy damn, this is a lot of food, and I'm really wondering if everybody eats that much, or if I just like starve myself. Apparently,
I do not eat this much on a regular basis. Just I'm
Pretty sure I don't starve myself, given how heavy I am.
I eat multiple pounds of food a day.
Yes, but how tall are you?
Anyway, all right, I'm gonna say you guys are splitting a pita a day. Just a
Okay.
pita a day keeps starvation away.
Like a full size, like a big old, like not like a mini pita, like a pita.
No, sorry, a pita, half a pita a meal, because they're the small ones. They're like
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, I know that.
I feel like that's reasonable.
Yeah, it is. Ooh, we
Alright.
should see if they have any good dipping spices or sauces for their pita. No, stop. Oh my word.
Okay, why don't we just get a fondue pot and chocolate fondue while we're at it?
Gosh.
You know, I would say
love
with
that.
Down for that
depending how
idea.
much she's spent after this, Azalea's definitely thinking of like, how much does honey and like spices and oil cost here?
You're
We could
spending,
like dip it.
There we go.
You've spent 7.4 gold pieces. I think you're
Okay. Yeah, Azalea's gonna like get some spices and like olive oil so you can like have a little dip or like some honey, and if they have peanut butter.
Yes,
It's a good
okay.
idea.
3.5
Felix approves.
is-
The only reason he eats is because it tastes good. So it
Francis-
better
Some
taste team food.
cheese.
Francis
Alright.
also approves.
I'm gonna be nice to you guys, and I'm gonna say that you guys eat half a pita for every other meal. So you get half a pita. Don't worry about it. You're not eating a pita every single meal.
Okay, no,
Azalea
no,
would totally eat a pita every meal.
no, that makes
Me
sense.
personally would eat 2 pitas every meal, especially
Okay,
if I was
fine.
hiking. every
Okay, but
day,
you also have beef jerky and like every single fruit under the sun.
Can we also assume that
Again, I'm
lunch
just gonna have
is
to put
more
this
like
out there,
a
like,
snack
I
rather
went
than a full meal?
backpacking for a week when I was a kid, and food and supplies and everyone's stuff for everyone came to like 30 pounds a person. If we're carrying like 8 pounds of food a person, that's like holy crap.
Camel. That was right. We
Ooh,
should
you
get a
said
camel
30
or a
pounds of
donkey.
Normal for
You were
backpacking?
carrying 30 pounds a person? You guys aren't carrying anywhere near that much.
No, that included all your clothing and all your equipment and
Yeah,
all your
that's right.
tent and all your
but
cooking gear and
I'm-
all your food.
I'm already
Right
carrying
now, you're at
33
27
pounds.
pounds between the meat and the fruit, and that's across 7 people.
I'm already carrying 33 pounds of stuff.
This is the reality of existence. You might want to buy a camel. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna
Azalea
say
doesn't
if
have
you're
that much
carrying
stuff, and
30
actually
pounds-
thinks she's largely carrying around books.
yeah, like
What
let's say
do
it was like
camels
5
eat?
pounds per person of food. How many? Yeah, 5. That if you multiply that times 7, that's still 35 pounds. I'm not saying that you're definitely more of an expert on it. I'm just saying
We definitely didn't carry. I don't. So maybe this is just a thing about when you're backpacking, but you did not want to be carrying 5 pounds worth of food.
okay.
Because when you're trying to hike over mountains 8 hours a day, you don't want to be carrying that much.
How long
Camel.
were you backpacking for? Actually, out of
A week,
curiosity?
7
what-
people,
Was
Where'd
it
you
on
go?
was it on the Appalachian Trail?
White Mountains,
Oh,
That's so
or
cool.
maybe it was the Green Mountains. I don't remember.
I'm very
It
jealous.
was many years ago.
I want to go.
Appalachian
we should do
Trail.
that.
I think to resolve this, Harley should call Mercy, because Mercy did outdoor action and would be an expert on this.
Yes.
She would be an expert on this.
Yeah, honestly, there's probably a way faster way of doing
We're
this,
not a
but-
jaunt though. We're an
I
expedition.
can ask Mercy if you really want, but how important is it?
All right. So a day.
Because if I call Mercy, we'll probably just start talking.
A day. Okay. So according to the Pathfinder rulebook, I think a day's rations is a pound.
A single pound?
I think so.
That's
That is correct.
That seems low though.
I would starve, but
And it also depends on the character.
On the food.
If you're playing a 7 foot tall half orc, you're not going to be eating. You're only a pound. You're going to be eating maybe 2.5 pounds. But if you're
Right.
playing a 5'2" elf that weighs 120 pounds at me, I am not going to be eating
Yeah.
3 pounds of food a day.
That's fair.
all right. I'm gonna say that all of you are all sitting here arguing together
In the middle of the
about how much
street.
food
And
you-
Azalea is out buying the food while you guys argue.
Are you guys with her? Because then you guys can fight about whether you want to like do this bulk order, or we can just call it 2 pounds of rations a person.
I
for a week.
will follow
Actually, though, does
Azalea.
anybody eat 2 pounds a day?
I will
Yes.
follow
Yes, I
Azalea.
do.
I can say
I
2
don't.
pounds a day. I've definitely eaten 2
This
pounds
is
a
why
day.
they started doing the shopping episodes and not.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say 2 pounds per person. 14 days for
28
for
pounds.
7 days
No.
is still.
28.
Wait, I can't count. That's 2 pounds a day times 7 people. That's 14 times 7 for the whole week. Even still, like even if it was only a pound per person, that's still 49 pounds of food.
Yeah.
So we're not that far off either way.
Okay.
So
You're getting a nice variety instead of just dry rations.
Yay.
And if it's 2 pounds, then it's something astronomical.
How much was the bread? Like, how much weight was the bread?
I don't even know. I'm gonna say like probably a
Not a
pita,
lot.
like a copper piece.
Okay.
Pitas are cheap.
Yeah, no.
So, do you guys want to continue with the bulk order, or do you just want to like it's not no skin off my back, other than the fact that I now look like a goof. But I look like a goof every week, so it's no harm, no foul.
You're doing
So,
fine.
do you guys want bulk food? You need to communicate this with Azalea.
I like Azalea's plan. Variety is the spice of life.
I think we can be creative with this.
I agree.
Yeah.
Being creative with food is very important, and it is constantly overlooked in our role-playing experience.
Thank you. Azalea's got like a plan in her head for like miniature pizzas and
We'll be the best fed adventurers out there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if you're getting 2 pounds a person for a week, that's 98 pounds.
Of bread?
no.
Dry ration.
Keep in mind, Felix doesn't have to eat.
So we're saving weight by buying in bulk, rather than
I
buying
don't know.
rations.
Well, if you're doing less than 2 pounds of rations per person, then yes, definitely.
Also, if each person carries their own, it won't be as bad on encumbrance as it sounds.
Yeah, I am gonna say, I think just from looking at this, if you're not getting much more, if you're getting bread and then like a couple of spices and stuff, it's definitely going to be, getting in bulk is definitely going to be less weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we should go ahead with the things that Azalea said, but I think that we should definitely start maybe looking for a camel to carry this.
Agreed.
I don't know that you, well,
Could the camel also carry me?
what's
Yeah.
what's the
Camels
carrying
cost
capacity?
150 gold according to the book.
Would solve our other problem.
But then we have to feed the camel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the camel can carry its own food.
That's true.
This is true. I was thinking more about money though, but
Okay, so according to D20 Surd, a light load for a camel is up to 300 pounds. I don't know that you
Sweet!
guys are
Tasha now wants a camel!
I want you guys to know that I am 12 pounds from, like, over-encumbered beyond my heavy load, just because of my armor and daily supplies.
I am 1 pound below
I
my
can
medium
carry
load.
nothing.
I'm 1
Yeah,
pound below my medium load. I can carry almost nothing. I can overload if you want me to, but we're
Okay,
not strong.
Somebody should make a general like intelligence roll for this, but I don't think you guys need a camel. You could probably get away with a donkey. A light load for a donkey is up to 50.
I think the point of the
How-
camel was that it's the desert.
It doesn't
Yeah.
need to drink.
That's fair.
Well, water's not an issue. I can literally generate water in it.
Oh, right, duh.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. How much water a day can you do?
Literally infinite. Like 3 gallons every 6 seconds.
What
Because
spell
you
do
can
have?
cast Create Water as a cantrip.
Yes.
Jeez. All right.
That,
Do you like to fill the ocean now?
that was.
It would
that was
only take you a week.
Yeah, that was the same thing that in the game at St. Joe's. That was the same spell that I had.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
forgot that it was
yeah.
a cantrip though. That's
Yeah.
pretty. That's slick. All right, so you guys definitely don't need to worry about water skins because I was gonna ask about that.
We should still have like canteens to carry though.
Oh yeah,
I
but like
suggest
I meant, like,
someone bringing a bucket so that
water.
the water doesn't just fall everywhere when I generate it.
yeah,
Just everybody has to stand with their heads back so we can all get a drink.
yeah.
If-
I would,
Like the feeding scene from the Croods.
No, wait a second. If we get a bucket to catch his water. Wait,
Please don't ever say that again.
sorry, that would defeat the point. Because I was gonna say, can I get an armor increase for cutting some holes in it and putting it over my head? And that realized that kind of defeats the purpose of the bucket to catch the water.
I would say at this point you guys have been in far long enough that you probably have water skins. I'm just gonna say
I have water skin written down that I have it.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
flask.
I.
Oh,
you
it's
guys-
filled with poison. Never mind.
You
Yeah,
have
don't
it,
drink that.
You guys have water skins. We're just gonna say that happened at
Sure.
some point. Probably the Knolls gave you water skins before they sent you packing out of there.
I think they did actually.
Um, They did not want you to drop dead in the middle of the desert. You guys would
That's
not
so
have made
nice
it
of
this far
them.
without them.
The knolls are right. The knolls are right. Right.
All right. So you guys are. I'm just gonna round down. You guys are gonna get 24 pitas, and you can fight over who wants how many pitas.
Goodness.
Starch and carb-rich foods are not great in the desert.
So no
You-
potatoes.
You guys should have thought about that a while ago. How much does a pita weigh? A pita weighs like an ounce,
Sure.
right?
So
Go with
imagine.
that.
So you say call 15 pitas a pound.
We're gonna say there's 2 we're gonna say that a pita is 2 ounces because I don't know how to. I'm not that smart. So 12.
Yeah.
So 12 ounces worth of pita.
Okay.
It's gonna be 12. Just call it 12 copper.
Okay. And how much does the combined pita and cracker weigh?
2 coppers per pita. Hang on.
Sorry.
I forgot about the stupid crackers. Dang it. This is way too much work. This is why you get rations, guys. So 2 copper per pita. You guys are getting that's 48 copper, which is 4 silver and something.
So just call it 5 silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can round up and tell her to keep the change. That'd be nice of you. So you got 5 silver pieces for your pitas. You get, I don't know, you guys can have 14 crackers. Those are going to be a copper each.
Okay. So that's 3.5 gold pieces, or silver pieces.
No. 10 coppers to the silver, right?
10 coppers to a silver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
you're
four-
right.
It's
Duh.
14 coppers, so it's 1 silver piece and 4 coppers. All right. Anything else? You guys wanted spices?
Yeah, spices and like oil to dip, and then like honey and peanut butter, depending on the prices of them. Or if peanut butter exists here.
There's some sort of ground nut.
Nut butter.
Some sort
Nut butter.
Nut butter.
of nut butter.
And some sort of jam.
Nut
We should
butter.
have jam included. Preserves.
Yeah.
How many jars of jam do you want?
Two.
I want peanut butter.
16,000.
How about 2?
I'll go through 4,000 jars of jam a day.
This is making me hungry.
Me too.
Okay.
I literally have a bag of trail mix on my desk right now.
All right. So you guys want 2 jars of jam. I'm gonna say I don't know how much. I'm assuming. Does a pound? Does like a jar of jam is usually like a pound, right? Is that
Sure.
okay? So you have 2 pounds of jam. Is everybody keeping track of the weight?
I am. I'm not keeping track of the price, but I am keeping track of the weight.
Okay,
So,
good.
so how much weight was the crackers and pitas combined?
I mean, the cracker is probably gonna be like half an ounce, so just call it like 15 ounces.
So
Call
a
it like a
pound.
pound altogether.
Right?
Call it like a pound altogether for the bread and the crackers, for pitas and stuff. Pitas definitely way more than that, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, cool.
Then call it 2 pounds for the jam.
Yep.
Which those are gonna be, if it's like a basic, it's just like a regular berry jam. It's gonna be 3 silver pieces each.
Sweet.
If somebody's keeping track of the cost too, right?
Guys?
Is somebody tracking how much this costs?
I haven't been tracking anything.
No, I haven't been tracking anything.
I've
This wasn't.
I've been tracking what they weighed. So okay.
Harley, have you been?
Okay. I
Before
was
the purchase
and
of bread, it was up to 7.5 gold. I do remember.
yeah.
that.
I have it written down. Just all right. It's fine. All right. Just try in the future. Just try and keep an eye on it because I don't always have a very good handle on it. So you're getting honey.
Yes.
You get your honey. You get your jam. You get your oil. I'm just gonna say you guys get a pound of each. Pounds worth of each of those.
Okay.
Okay, 1 pound. 1 pound of
2
oil.
pounds of jam.
Another thing to note is that we had discussed previously. The elves really only need to eat once every every 2 or 3 days. Like in case of extremes, we do need to eat more regularly than that usually, but in case of extremes, we can go that long without eating.
Okay.
Okay.
In future, we can worry about that, but just for the sake of my sanity, and because I'm counting up everything and doing everything, I'm gonna.
I'm not saying necessarily that you need to change anything that you've done. I'm just saying that, if, for example, what we've purchased is enough for a week and then we go for 3 weeks,
Sounds
Okay.
good.
it might be attainable.
Okay. So,
Okay.
folks, here's the weight update. Okay.
That you guys can worry about.
Later.
Just let me
Sure,
finish adding
okay, sure.
this. So, add the 4 pounds with the jam and everything else into your total. We'll talk about it in a minute. Jam I said was 6 silver pieces. A pound of honey is gonna run you. I'm gonna say it's a gold piece
Yeah, that would.
because honey is expensive, and oil will be like a pound of like just regular dipping oil will be like 2 silver.
Okay.
How much? What was it? We said 5 pounds of dried fruit.
7 pounds of dried food,
Thank
20
you.
pounds of
20 pounds of meat, 2 pounds of jam and nut butter.
all
2.
of your like jarred dips and
Yes.
stuff is 4 pounds,
Okay.
and then your bread was 1 pound.
Okay. The bread is 1 pound. All right, and.
All right, so your grand total is something horrible.
32 is what I have.
Why am I entering this? Okay, I will send you what it is at some point. You definitely have enough.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out later because it's just going to take me too much time to add all that up. And somebody should have been tracking it. So we'll worry about that later. So you guys have all of your food. Are we set on that?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, food is done, and the lamp oil is done. Who lost their marbles and wanted marbles?
Noah.
Felix would like some marbles. You are able to easily find a bag of marbles for a silver piece with like some children's toys, and they're all kinds of really pretty colors. And this is another place where you're seeing some of that glass work go into effect. They're very nicely rounded. They've got a nice little weight to them, and some of them have different colors streaked through them, or they might be different colored glasses. But they're very nice. Some nice glass marbles that are now in your possession.
Sweet.
Yes.
Um,
I'd say you have like 10.
Okay. There's the yeah. The Okay. Can I also buy some I forgotten, but I'd also like to buy a surgeon's kit and a veterinarian's kit.
Okay, I heard veterinarian kit, and what was the first one?
And a surgeon's kit.
Okay.
A surgeon's kit. Okay.
Scalpel.
What'd you say?
Scalpel nurse.
Yes.
Just in case these fools decide to get themselves killed, I want to be able to slice them up even further.
I'm an oracle, Jim, not a magician.
Make a perception check. It's basically it functions as an investigation check to see if you can find one in the market.
We don't have investigation checks. That's a 5th edition.
That's why it's a perception check. I'm just explaining it as being in
Same
functionality.
Right. That makes sense.
Alrighty, I got a 13.
Okay, you do some searching, and you ask at a few different stands, and somebody eventually kind of explains, we don't typically sell those to the public. You could probably ask at the temple. Some of the clerics are skilled in that way, but we didn't. They are not. They're sold specifically to healing clerics, and kept by them. So, you would probably have to go to the temple to find something like
Do
that.
the clerics buy them from the temples?
They're sold directly to directly to the clerics. Someone usually goes over and takes care of that.
Huh.
Can I go check the temple then?
Okay. Let's get back to that.
Okay.
Sorry, this is like taking a really long time.
You're good. Okay, so only clerics can buy
Clothes and
certain-
head covers.
Oh, that's me and Felix.
Head covers. What kind of head covers are you looking for?
I'm looking for ones that'll keep the sun off our necks primarily.
Okay, so like a scarf or like so like basically a full what's it called? Hijab.
I don't know if I want to cover our mouths.
It could be useful if there's a sandstorm, though.
Yeah, I think we should have the option. I'm thinking like Lawrence of Arabia style. Like
Well,
Most
you
of
can-
those have a section you can unwrap and cover your face with.
Yeah, yeah.
I know a word for them, but it's
Burnoose.
I don't know. It's no. It's very specific to
Thank you.
wheel time. All right.
Yes. How much will seven?
Sorry, what did you say?
What?
Did you say something?
Burnoose.
Is that
That's what the traditional desert head wrapping is called.
Oh, thank you, Tasha.
So you are able to purchase 7 Renuses for the price of 1 silver per thing.
Nice.
So
All right, that is my donation to the party.
It would not be too expensive.
Okay, so I will knock myself down to $469.
$100.
Felix feels so rich.
This feels what?
So rich.
All right, clothes
Neat.
for Sir Felix.
Mhm.
Are you just getting like one set of clothes? I feel like you're only
He
getting
just wants a traveling outfit, basically.
a traveling robe. What did you say?
Like, outfit. Yeah. Whatever people around here wear when they're traveling.
Oh, I see. Call it 3 silver pieces.
What does it look like, Felix? What do you want it to look like?
Is it orange?
An orange turban.
It's all orange. It's neon green orange. Yeah, it's
Felix looks like a hunter, all bright flame.
Wearing the high vis vest.
He's wearing the hot pink camo.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until Dick Cheney shoots you. It's all fun and games until then.
So what you're telling me is that Felix is dressing like a hunter's wife.
We're just gonna move on now.
Gee.
So the outfit is basically it's a light kind of linen's lightweight. It's a light linen spun shirt with kind of heavier breeches. You already have shoes and stuff. And there is a jacket that goes over it, like a
Ooh.
nice coat. Not super well made, but it'll help with the sand.
Nice.
Cool.
Felix feels great. He owns more than one pair of clothing.
Looking
He's
sharp,
moving up in the
Felix.
world.
Looking sharp, my man.
Your face is incredibly dirty, but you look real good.
In his defense, he cannot see his face, so how would he know if it's dirty to clean it?
We all can see
That's
your
on you guys.
We're being very nice to you. We don't want
But if you don't look like a vagabond, then we can't play you off as the poor beggar kid.
exactly.
Lost rich boy
I mean-
in need of saving.
I mean, it's not like he hasn't been around bodies of water enough to not have seen his reflection.
That's also true. Maybe he wasn't as dirty at that point.
When were we around bodies of water? We're in a
The
desert.
canal.
We were right by a pond when we were fighting the crabs.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. That was
Well, that was dark. And then
Okay.
there was the
He has dark
canal
vision for
where
30 feet, does he not?
Oh, he's
Mhm.
human, isn't he?
The vision he has.
Yeah.
What?
Aren't you human?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but so the
Is dark vision one of your
Oracle-
oracle things?
yes, the oracle
Okay,
curse
that's fine. Sorry.
that causes blindness gives you dark vision to 30 feet. It's
That
the reason
explains
I
it.
can only see 30 feet. The only vision I have is dark vision to 30 feet.
My bad, sorry.
Ah.
That's weird.
We will make your vision slightly better and also a lot worse at the same time.
Wait, aren't you the one who has this,
Right.
what's the thing that you get from being in the sun?
Serpent in the sun. It means I don't have to eat, and I get bonuses against disease when I'm in the
Okay.
sun.
So it's a fun
Or at
trade
least
off.
4
You
hours
get
in
to
a
be
day.
blind while you're in the sun, but you don't have to eat. But then when you're in the dark, you do need food, but you can see. All right, I'll take it. All right, you got your clothes.
Yay.
Your short spears. Are you just looking for like are you looking for the actual short spears or just like the staffs that go with it?
So
That you put-
essentially, what I had done before was when I was making the character, I bought him 3 short spears, and then I had them be basically his sticks that he used as his
Okay.
Yes.
walking
I'm
around
like,
with sticks as a
but they're your
blanket.
short.
But he used them to stab people if he needed to. So
I appreciate that. Short spears. What are you thinking like? It is 1 gold piece. How many short spears do you want?
2.
2. All right, that'll be 2 gold pieces, and it's 6 pounds. Because apparently short spears are heavy.
The weights are a little odd too.
That is a Pathfinder.
Yes.
I do not know, my dear. Although, I feel like I can see that. I can kind of see that. I mean,
Like I can see the spears, but I also remember them being like a dagger is 1 pound.
yeah, no, like that was that. I think we changed at some point for some reason because like that's ridiculous.
Like I see you're using a lead knife, then, aren't you?
Yeah, it falls 2 feet in front of you.
You chuck it. Just
Yes, and your arm rips out of socket. Anyway,
depleted
It's Sten's hammer.
depleted uranium throwing daggers.
yes. All right, so you have short spears. All right, all of my crafty people who want their leather, their wood, their metal, and their files.
Bronze,
Yes.
iron, wood, and stone.
Me and Ethan, but I think Ethan's on the phone.
That is okay.
Iron, wood, and
So
stone.
we'll start with
For the sake of time, we just, get a price and attempt to hackle it at all.
Make a diplomacy check.
Oh no.
Oh,
Those are
no.
bad.
What'd you roll, Tasha?
Would that be a nat 1?
Nope.
Oh.
That's a 0.
Oh.
Technically better than that one.
so,
Could have
you,
brought me.
so you accidentally insult the
2
shopkeep's
minus
mother.
2.
So all the shopkeepers that you go to kind of just look you up and down, just like the price is what the price is, which I have not decided yet what the price is, but the price is that.
Quilp, I tried. High roll of the day, guys.
Alright, so you're trying to get a little bit of metal for your axles,
Yeah, the mold for the...
the wood. I don't know what this leather is for, so I don't know how much leather he's trying to get. That wasn't you, right?
Some of the leather was me, for straps.
Ethan
Like I
wanted,
said, I'm trying to make it like a cramp-on. Something you can strap onto a shoe.
Sorry,
Ethan,
that was my bad. When you did your craft check, I had said that you were able to make the
Okay.
strap, so you shouldn't need it. What?
I know what Ethan's trying to make.
How much leather does he need?
All right. So what he's trying to make is maybe a foot long, half a foot wide, and that's probably being super conservative.
Okay, we'll wait until he comes back for that then.
Yeah.
I'd say the metal and the wood runs you to like 2 gold pieces.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm back, by the way.
There you are. Okay.
He's
I
back.
was trying to figure out what your experiment, like I was trying to figure out how much materials you would need for it, but
Are we
I have a
talking
list.
oh,
a
okay.
square of leather or like a full body suit worth? Yes. Chafing.
That's a lot of leather.
Ethan,
What's up?
how much leather were you looking for? Are you trying to get everything for your thing now, or just the leather and stuff, or just leather?
Sorry, I've been distracted. A friend of mine has 2 hours to move out, and just
Oh.
found out about it.
Oh, that's
Dear.
cool.
So I have a list of things that I need. As for leather, I only need. I need a leather strap about 6 feet long and 3 inches wide.
Okay. Are you trying to get everything on your list right now?
Yes, and we can make it very easy. I can tell you the locations that I wish to go and the object I need, and you can tell me how much it costs.
Yeah, likewise for my stuff.
Yeah, no. I will reduce the embellishment. Just run off the list of what you want.
So first things first, I want to go to the blacksmith because I need 8 small iron pins, a scrap plate of metal about that big, and like an inch thick if possible. I need some springs and some screws and some charcoal
Okay, that's everything that you need.
from the blacksmith.
Okay.
The charcoal I need is only like enough to light one really hot fire.
Okay, then that's probably gonna be like. Call it like with the scrap metal. Call it 3 gold pieces
3 gold pieces for the iron pins,
for like everything on your
the
list.
scrap of metal, the charcoal, and the springs.
Yeah, just for everything at the blacksmith. I'm just gonna say it's 3 gold pieces, and then I can kick myself in the butt later.
I'll be right back, folks.
I will note it should probably be a bit more than that with the springs. I'm gonna need about 20 springs, and springs would take a lot of work for them.
Okay, yeah, then call it 5.
Okay,
What are you building?
don't worry about it.
Okay.
Next I need to go to. Oh, I also needed the hammer from the blacksmith, like a
Yeah,
pinion
no,
hammer.
I have a hammer.
You have a hammer? Okay.
I
Don't.
would be in
you
the
don't need to worry
tinker's
about
tool.
that.
A small
Yeah.
hammer.
Yeah, no.
No,
Done.
I would need like a smithing hammer, like a pinion hammer.
Never mind.
Um.
I don't know if I'd have that or not.
My guess is that's gonna be a few gold pieces, but I can check and see if Pathfinder's gonna be nice to us.
The
Okay.
hammer costs 5 silver pieces.
Yeah.
So say I spend 6 gold pieces at the blacksmith.
Yeah, because it's a gold piece according to a light weapon. A light hammer is 6.
Okay. Tasha, did you get the ceramic files?
I don't know, Gabrielle, did I? Was that counted in my 2 gold pieces worth of stuff?
Because I did need to go to a potter anyway, so if you want me to get them, I can get them.
Yeah, why don't you get them? Because I had just gotten wood for.
Okay.
I need to get metal too, I believe.
Yeah, I got you your metal and your pit. Yeah, I got your wood and your metal axles. And
Next, I need to go to the carpenter.
Okay.
I need about 6 square feet of nice wood, like something that looks nice and is probably like a 1/4 inch thick.
Okay.
Would I be able to find metal wheels at a blacksmith?
Metal wheels at a blacksmith? Yes, you could.
That might be worth it.
Okay. While you're at the blacksmith, what were you getting? Was the wood? What was the wood? The wood first for?
I don't know.
We were.
Oh, I think that was for supports.
It was for the because originally we'd been saying wooden wheels, but if you want metal wheels, then
Wooden wheels on metal axles is not going to work very well.
okay. Then I don't know what you I don't know what you would have accomplished with your check. I'm sorry. It's okay. Then in that case, just bump your title. Your total. Are you getting all? You're getting all 4. Called.
Yes.
Called a gold piece each. I don't know if that's much.
No, that would be about how much they'd cost.
So 4 gold pieces for that plus. So like.
It was the 2 from before. That's a total of 6.
All right. Your wood. Ethan is going to run you about 3 gold pieces for a nice.
Okay, and then I need about 4 square feet of not as nice wood, just kind of like support structure that I can cut apart and put on the inside.
Okay, that'll be 1 gold.
Okay, so 4 gold for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then from the carpenter, I also needed a wire saw and a hand saw.
Okay.
So a wire saw is 2 rings with a piece of wire in the middle, and that wire has metal fibers on the outside to make it sharp, so that you can wrap it around something and use it to cut.
Okay. You can debate me on this because I don't know, but I'm gonna say they're 5 gold each.
What?
I don't know. like I said, you can debate me.
It's a piece of
handsaw
wire
is-
and 2 metal rings.
Well,
A handsaw is 4 copper pieces according to this. That I am looking
okay.
at.
Wait, what are you looking at out of curiosity?
I am looking at the Pathfinder Ultimate Equipment.
Of course, there's a book
It's a,
for that.
it's a
All
book.
right. You said a handsaw was four copper pieces.
4 copper pieces. It's a very
All right,
common
call it.
cheap
Then
thing.
call the whole. Yeah, you can call the whole thing like 5 copper pieces. Then
5 copper pieces for the handsaw and the wire saw.
I would assume so.
That list doesn't happen to
Wire
wheel,
saw-
does it?
Wire
Nope.
saw is much more expensive.
Wire saw is more expensive.
Yes,
Okay,
wire saw,
well,
according
then-
to this book, costs 30 gold.
What?
That's what it says.
I'm not gonna go with that just because that seems exorbitant.
I'm trying to think of what about it would be expensive. I guess maybe the drawing of the wire could be expensive.
Probably. So just call it 2 gold pieces.
2 gold pieces, so we're up to 8 gold at the carpenter. What else?
How much did the handsaw and the wire saw weigh? By the way.
Handsaw weighs 2 pounds, and wire saw weighs nothing.
All right, cool.
Yes, it's made out of void energy. So that's 8
Its weight is
gold
negligible.
pieces for those. And I need some screws, which I probably should have gotten from the blacksmith.
Are there screws on that list? Sorry. Are there screws in the book, Felix? No.
I don't
assume-
see any.
I assume the book also didn't have, small wheels on the list, right?
Not obviously, no. It's
Let's
mainly
just say-
equipment pieces, not. So it's
To
like
make it
tools
easy,
and
instead of-
equipment, not stuff to build stuff with.
Instead of screws, let's make this easy and just say that I need nails, because screws probably wouldn't be as common.
Okay.
As a reference, a pigeon costs 1 silver piece.
Oh, so
Iron
that pigeon
spike.
that we killed?
Dinner.
Piton.
How many
Piton.
do you want?
An
Oh,
iron
oh,
spike.
oh.
An iron spike costs 1 silver. So
Okay.
Well, I need these nails to be like an inch long and rather thin.
Yeah, they're gonna be like a copper piece each. But like how many?
So I'd need about a gold piece of them. So that's 9 gold pieces. I think that's everything at the carpenter.
Okay. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry to hop in here again, but is this to anybody who has the stream up or can access it really easily? That error warning came back saying it's not a healthy stream, but it looks fine to me.
All right, then
you got the virus.
I don't know that it's. If it's the same warning as before, it probably doesn't need to get worried about.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I have everything from... actually, no, I forgot one thing at the carpenter. I need some bands. Some banding material.
I'm completely stupid and I don't know what that is. I know what
So, like reeds. The long, thin wood reeds that you would put around something and pull tight in order to form it.
how many do you want?
4. Each about 4 feet long.
All right, let's call it 4 silver. For
You really thought about this shopping list.
Yep.
I'm impressed.
Alright. I need to go to the potter quickly just to get a clay bowl and those ceramic files. I'm gonna need probably 2 of the files because we can get 2 rings out of each one.
All right, that's gonna be 4 copper for the files, and a bowl's gonna be if it's just like a very basic bowl.
Clay bowl about 1.5 foot, 2 feet in diameter and kind of shallow.
Yeah, call it like a silver piece.
Okay. So the potter is done. Okay, and the last place is the alchemist, or other chemical nature.
Okay, remind me again how big the metal and the wood pieces were.
So the wood pieces, I needed a total of 6 square feet of the nice wood, but I was going to be cutting it into 3 2 square feet pieces, so 3 pieces about that big. And the framing wood, I needed 4 square feet in 1 square foot pieces. And the piece of metal, I needed to be about 8 inches by 8 inches and about an inch thick.
Okay, that's a lot.
So the piece of metal, well, not an inch, half an inch thick. So the piece of metal would be like probably 2 or 3 pounds. If it's iron, maybe a little more, like 4 or 5 pounds. And I don't care if it's just scrap and rusty. I just need it as like kind of like a beating
okay.
pipe.
I trust you
And then the
enough.
wood would be like 4 pounds total.
Okay, I trust you enough to calculate that fairly and just keep track of it, because you just want to make sure you keep an eye on your weight limit.
Yep.
For carrying capacities.
Yep.
All right, and then alchemist.
All right. I need. Let's see here. I need beeswax.
Interesting.
I need linseed oil, black paint, and a strong adhesive.
Okay. How much beeswax do you want? Like, what quantities do you want of everything?
The linseed oil. The linseed oil, I need probably 2 quarts.
2 quarts. Okay.
The beeswax, just a block of it, like a 4-inch cube block of beeswax. The paint, I think an ink vial size, and the adhesive, I'm gonna need probably a quart of it.
Okay. Let's call it 2 silver for the paint.
Okay.
5 silver for the adhesive. Linseed oil. Linseed oil, I'm gonna say, is a little bit more expensive than just regular, like, petrol type of oil. You want 4 quarts.
I want 2 quarts.
2
of
quarts.
linseed oil.
Sorry. How many pints go into a quart?
2.
2.
Thank you. Okay, so 4 pints. So call that. I would call that. That seems exorbitant. Call it 6 silver pieces for the oil.
Okay.
And then the beeswax is going to be. I'm gonna call that 8 silver pieces because honey is expensive, which means the beeswax is probably also.
Okay.
Did I cover it? That was everything, right?
That was everything except you never told me the price of the leather strap.
Oh.
Yeah, the leather strap is 6 foot. Call it 5 silver.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're never doing this again.
I got everything I wanted.
Cool.
I know you. Yeah, it's not for any fault of everyone. It's just me not knowing anything. So it's just like, yeah, that sounds good for a price. All right, cool. Sweet.
It's okay. The prices in the book are really pretty janky.
Well, the prices, that's the thing. Like, I didn't have any of the prices. So in the future, I will take your list and I will do my research instead of trying to make this up on the fly and boring everybody to tears.
I think all right.
All right. Is there anything else that anyone wanted to purchase? Anybody speak now or forever? Hold your peace.
I wanted to go to the temple.
Yes, we were off to the races at the temple trying to buy a certain skit. So you guys head across the street to the temple, just on the other side of the library. And as you re-enter the space, it is again cooler in here. There are a few more worshippers in here, and those of you who have kind of higher perception, you hear a couple of whispered prayers of thanks for protection from the sandstorm. As you guys enter, one of the clerics walks closer to you. Good evening. Good afternoon. How can I be of assistance to you?
I am a healer, and I was looking to acquire a surgeon's kit, but I was told that the only place I could get one was from the temple.
Yes, the surgeon's kits. They're not typically sold to the public, but potentially I could take you to the suppliers that we worked with. He does not have a booth in the market. He has his own separate shop. I can let me direct you, and he can make his decisions. So she gives you directions to what sounds like it just seems like a small house, a little further away, closer to where you guys were with Haran, but down a few streets from it. So you head that direction, and you are greeted at the front door. The front door of this house is open, and you see inside. You can see a little bit inside, and there is a man kind of just sitting at one of the tables. And back behind the house is what looks to be like kind of almost like a smaller forge, where it looks to be an apprentice is working with some small tools to probably put together some of the items in the kit. Maybe something like scalpels or what have you. Upon seeing you, the man rises and comes out. Yes, greetings. How can I be of service to you?
I'm going to say, I was told that you provide the tools for the healers at the temples.
Yes, I do. We provide different we have some of the surgical kits, as well as different sort of supportive materials for people who need like bracing and somewhat. Was there something specific that you were sent to get?
I am looking to acquire a surgeon's kit.
Yes. So those tend to, if you're looking for just a basic surgeon's kit, that will be about 3 gold pieces.
Yes, I have a healer's kit already, but I want the complete set of surgeon's tools.
A larger set of surgeon's tools. So our basic one usually includes a suturing kit, and those tools, and a scalpel. If you're looking for something further, such as like not a couple of, there's a few different sizes of the scalpel blades, as well as different sizes of the suture. I forget what they're called. The suture clamps.
Given that my friends' lives may depend on it, I will take the finest kit that you have.
Understood. That will be about 6 gold pieces.
Okay.
Okay. And if I may ask, just so I can keep it for my registry, which cleric is this being purchased for? I assume that you are running errands.
No, I am part of a party of adventurers.
I see. And you are the intrepid surgeon. I see. Is it?
Yes.
Very good. And what is your name?
Felix.
Felix.
Rosanos.
Excellent. Felix Rosanos. Make sure that you are under proper supervision when you use these. It requires some significant skills, but I wish you the best in your surgical endeavors, young sir.
Ageist.
Wow, rude. Assuming a child doesn't know what they're doing with surgery.
Yeah, I know. 15-year-old neurosurgeons, just wow.
I was not planning on doing brain surgery. Let the blind 15-year-old do brain surgery. It's a wonderful plan.
I'm concerned by you doing any type of surgery since you're blind.
There's a blind glowing child is now doing brain surgery in the middle of the desert.
All I want right now is for Felix to like take the kid and just like do like the stick thing. As he walks away, just watch this guy lose his mind.
I would just be waiting for hearing an, oops. Do you think it'll be a problem if there's sand on the brain?
Nah, it's fine. It builds character. Meningitis builds character.
On the bright side, if I accidentally slip with the scalpel and cut something important, I can just use my magical healing to heal it all back together again.
There you go. Orthopedic surgery, guys. It's like, it's okay, you know, like broke a couple of bones in there, just like there, now it's good.
Oops, a little bit of a severed medulla oblongata.
All right, so you leave with your newly acquired surgeon's kit. It's wrapped in a generally it's a nice-ish leather pouch with all the tools kind of neatly tucked inside. And there's a small whetstone that they seem to throw in there for free just to keep the scalpel sharp. Obviously, it's not like a very super modern thing, but it'll do well for general medicinal.
I prefer my scalpels dull. It's better that way.
Are you a torturer?
Butter knife.
You have some stuff to talk about, my friend.
Brain
Oh wait, that's my other game. Sorry.
Brain surgery with a butter knife.
These are nice enough that I'm gonna say that they will give you a +1 to your medicinal check.
Hey.
Whatever.
Okay.
Hey, all right.
I
Cool.
will say too much critical roll. It's starting to bleed over.
What time of day did you say it was about?
By this point, it's it's like an hour or two past noon.
Okay. We still have a whole day.
Purchasing the many things that it takes to survive, apparently, out in this vast.
I don't know if this was brought up while I was on the phone. I doubt it was. Just important for you to know, Gabrielle, there was a little bit of a transaction between Andrew and I.
Yes.
In that he now has 2 swords.
Yes.
So.
Okay. That's fine by me. As long as you know the weights and gold pieces and stuff. Yeah, I don't think that. All right. Anybody else? Anybody? Did we take care of everybody's shopping trips?
I'm set.
Anyone?
Fun shopping.
All right. You now laden with your purchase. Oh, are you guys buying a camel?
Oh, what about tents?
That was very violent.
Sorry.
What about the tents?
I was just thinking about because it was the sand on the brain thing that made me think about it again. I'm thinking there wouldn't be sand on the brain if we had a tent.
In point of fact, you guys did not have tents when you first came this way, so it's fine that you didn't think about it. If you would like to buy tents, there are definitely several tent makers in the general market.
We like each other, all
Gabrielle,
right?
please check your
yes,
messages.
yes.
We could do a boys' tent, girls' tent.
Received.
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, tens are a good idea, and a camel's a good idea. I think we should get all of the above.
Okay, are you guys buying? Okay, well, you can figure that out. So,
how much did you say a camel cost?
150 gold.
150
All
gold?
right, I'm buying a camel and naming it Yorick.
That was very fast. Are you buying it?
I knew him once.
You go.
Is that why you called it yours?
Also, on the bright side, if we end up running out of food, camels weigh 1,500 pounds according to this book, so that we have plenty of meat.
All of us together might be able to pull Yorick and eat him as we go.
If we name it, you can't kill it.
No.
Okay, then I'll name it Dinner.
Oh
No.
Come on, Dinner. I like Dinner the camel.
Okay, can I point out though, if we go running out in the desert and run into anything dangerous, it will almost certainly kill the camel.
It's better the camel
I'm
dies
just
than.
being practical here, no matter how sad that makes me.
All right, hold on a minute here.
If nobody else wants to go in on the camel with me, nobody else has to go in on putting stuff on the camel with me, other than food.
I'll go in on the camel with you, bro.
I'm buying a camel.
I will help pay the camel.
I'll go in with the camel.
No, it's just I don't care if guys pay if you guys help me pay for it or not. It's just I have a light load of 23 pounds.
I want someplace to put my 50 feet of hemp rope, and a camel seems perfect for that.
I feel like we should all split the camel evenly and then just put stuff on the camel.
Concur. Like Azalea.
And hope that the camel doesn't die painfully and get dragged off with all our stuff.
Just a giant sand snake comes and just eats.
Well, we ran into a giant sand snake before.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and it bursts up, and it's gonna eat your camel, man. Okay, so you guys head. Oh my gosh.
Are we agreed that we're splitting the camel?
Yes.
I think we are agreed.
Is that what, 6 ways?
Is Clover helping pay for the camel?
I don't
Aren't there
see.
6 of us even without Clover?
There's 6 of
There
us
are.
without Clover. But are we adding Clover in so that she has to help pay for the camel?
I don't
Oh.
think we should add Azalea in because she didn't get the gold from the
Good deal.
from, well,
yeah.
the gold that we stole. You know.
Yes, our ill-gotten gains were not.
So we're
reaped
basically
by-
dividing it among 5 people.
No.
Instead of making her pay for it, you can let her write it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good
I
deal.
think that's the
Okay, no wait. So there's 1 of us, 2 of us, 3 of us, 4 of us,
Three.
5 of us, 6.
150
It's 6 if
across
it's
5
Clover.
people. It's 30.
It's 6 if
If
we
we're not
include.
making Clover pay for the camel.
I don't know how much gold Clover has, so I'm going to just say, don't bother.
It's only 30 people, so
It makes 30 people.
Holy cow!
It makes the math easier if there's 5 of us doing it.
yeah. So 30
Okay.
gold a person.
30 gold a person. All right. Oh, and how much do we owe for food?
Oh yeah.
The food was taken care of by the 50 gold I gave to Azalea.
Oh, okay. All right. So then just never mind with that.
Yeah, I paid y'all's meal ticket. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. All right. So, and we each spent 30 on the camel.
Well, that's how much you plan to spend. Hang on.
Oh,
Let's
sorry.
get to the camel man.
Sorry.
Because camel man I'm excited about and I just made him up. There's the camel man.
The camel is getting named Yorick.
I've been waiting this entire campaign for camel man.
How about Bjorn?
All right, so you guys are directed over to, and you've seen this at this point, over to where there are various livestock being sold. And this area you've kind of tried to avoid as much as you can because it's kind of out. While there are some coverings that have been erected over the animals, it smells horrible over here. It smells like animal dung. It smells like sweaty animals that have been out in the sun for a while. But there are there are all kinds of different animals here. There are birds sold in different cages. There are donkeys. There are or mules, I guess, whichever one it is. Several mules kind of braying in the middle. There's goats available. Some of which are sold for sacrifice, like at the temple and so on. And there are 3 camels at your disposal. One looks to be a little smaller, a little younger, but the other 2 are kind of sitting there very quietly, docilely, spitting every 5 seconds. It's loud and it's stinky. As you guys approach, there comes out a man, and he's quite the man. He's a human with dark skin and is a very portly fellow wearing a very brightly colored robe. And just the slightest bit of a beard starting to tinge his face. Welcome. How can I be of service to you? Welcome to Tarask's. That is not what I meant to say.
Tarask's animal.
How about Tarask's Incorporated?
We'll take your finest Tarask, please. There you go.
They're named after me. They're bisexual. No. Welcome
We have
to
to call the camel Tarask.
Yes.
Welcome to Tarask's Emporium of Animals. How can I be of service to you? Yes, you are looking for a pretty young woman. My darling, he kind of kneels and shakes hands with Azalea. A pretty bird, perhaps, to light your fancy? Would you be interested? I have parakeets of every kind. Some of them, they say, are from the black jungle wastes. You'll never know what will come out. They're very exotic, very beautiful. Come and see. For you, my man, he kind of thumps Fen in the shoulder.
The minute he does that, I grab his wrist and say, "Do it again, and you're dead."
Yes, of course.
Then, chill out.
I thought with your strength rating, you would just fall face first onto the ground.
He's a portly man. He's not worried about strength.
Crushed to death by his own lumber.
Crushed to death by 4 pounds of wood.
Yeah.
Choked to death on 3 pounds of steel.
He puts his hands up and kind of flourishes them behind his back, probably rubbing his wrist a little bit. Of course, my young sir, I apologize, but You look very burdened with all these things. Perhaps a trusty mule to carry all of your things across the city as you. Perhaps you can get a little bit of a ride on it. Some of the girls.
Let me save you the spiel. We're here for a camel.
Camel. Yes. The camels, they're good animals, yes. So, I see all of you. You have quite a bit of stuff there, yes. But this camel, this one over here. Giordano. He is a good man. He's very excellent. He carries things far and wide. He has carried me from one end of Jalbar to the next, and often sometimes he has looked into Mariel, but I tell him, it's way too cold for us there. But he has gone.
Is this dude a used car salesman? He's like telling his life story, trying to get us to make the sale.
Yeah.
Yes, but this camel,
Used camels.
he doesn't drink a whole lot. It makes it very easy. He's very good. Give him one drink before you leave, and you can cross the Jalbari Desert at least 3 times before you need to drink again. Also,
Really?
very.
Find when the
Very-
camel's dead by the time we leave the city.
So, but for this camel, for my prize camel, for you, only 250 gold.
How much for that one? And I point to the other.
For the other one, the young one, or there's 3 camels. There's two.
The other of the 2 adult camels.
Yes. Lienda. Lienda is also very good, very strong. She's a bit, how you say, camels, they get up in things. She's a bit promiscuous for a camel.
Wow. Okay. So
Much less-
basically, he's selling us a breeder. Cool.
Very strong. Not quite the best one for carrying. She's good at carrying, but she is fine if you're trying to make a herd of camels, very good. But I would be willing to part with her if I'm asked, for 225 gold.
What is the name? First of all, what is the name for a baby camel? A camelot? A camel?
I will look it up. Hang
A
on.
cameloo.
Is it just a calf? I feel like I've read
I'm
that.
gonna
The
give.
calf.
Okay.
A calf. Okay. But yes, and of course, but if you buy this with one of the camels, you have several pretty maidens around you. So many of you men with your beautiful girls. So I will throw in for you. If you would like to purchase the camel, I will throw in. You can purchase the camel for 200 gold. I'll give you 2 birds for 50. It's a deal. It's a great deal. These birds, they're 50 gold pieces each usually.
Wait, is this supposed to attract beautiful women or attract other camels for that camel? I'm really confused.
And for your girlfriend.
Yes, camels need birds to mate, didn't you know?
Yeah, it's part of their mating ritual. They get the prettiest birds they can find and put them on their shoulder.
And the bird mating dance that actually attracts the other camel. Science said it wrong all along.
Camels are freeloaders, don't you know? No. They're for the women, my good sir. Of course. Wooing the women.
I'm going to look at Ven with a raised eyebrow, and just kind of pull Black Rose out and just kind of start spinning the mechanism a little bit, and kind of give Ven a glance that she probably knows what it means, and
Tasha
go.
doesn't know what it means.
Okay, well, okay, I'll message you.
Tasha
But
doesn't have social skills.
Yeah.
Make.
And I'm gonna basically say, interesting. Well, we've seen camels being sold elsewhere for as little as 120 gold, and they probably could carry far more than those.
Make a
We came to you because we were told you were reputable, but I fear we may have been misled.
Make a bluff check. This is the only camel stand you've been to.
Ooh.
17?
Yeah.
How suggestible is this man? Less than that. 100 gold pieces. Are you I can't say sometimes that does happen, but I can guarantee you that Tarak's camels will carry you much further than anyone else. I've seen these other camel sellers. They're scrawny camels. They're not going to get anywhere near as far. These are strong, well bred. This one's mother. This one's mother, the breeder one. She popped out the quite.
The slutty camel. Is that what he's trying not to say?
Yes, the camel slut's mother.
They had strong genes.
That sounds like a really bad inn too.
Which
What are
one?
you saying? Oh, we're the
Slutty
slutty
camel.
camel.
That's not an inn. That's a strip club.
Oh! Oh! Okay, guys, let's go on the Inns and Taverns grab bag.
Oh, come on. The slutty camel isn't much worse than the frolicking mollusk.
Or what was one?
Wait, that was a bona fide squeak, Deborah.
That was. What was or the Moody Stallion. Oh wow, we have a lot of very awkward tavern names.
Guys, we need to make it big so that we can just have like t-shirts.
My it is the slutty camel.
Bumper stickers. I'm driving to the slutty camel.
Oh.
Yes, her mother, she birthed several very strong camels. I guarantee you will not get better. You will not get a better stock of camel. But because you're hard bargaining, drive a hard bargain. But I like that. I will give them both. I will give either of them to you for 175 gold pieces. What'd you say? Throw in the bird. I'll throw in the bird for 100. Make it 180.
I'm gonna give another glance to Cervena
Oh shit.
with like
Alright.
eyebrow raised.
I will try. I'm not sure how well I can play the good cop, but you have to understand, sir. We're a little bit short on cash. And you're right. Your camels are wonderful camels, and they look very strong. But
Yeah.
is there any way you could try to work with us here?
Make it
We're
low.
not very wealthy people.
Make a diplomacy check.
Crap! I can't make this work as bluff.
I mean,
She is
not
kind of bluffing that we're
I am
short on
trying. I'm
cash.
trying to imply that we don't have enough money for what he's asking.
All right, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Next
Even the
time I'm playing
ever
good
widening
cop,
gap
it works.
between my bluff and my diplomacy skills.
What'd you say, Ethan?
I said, but good lord, next time I'm playing good cop.
Yeah. I don't know how to be the good cop well in this scenario. I'm sorry.
We just want
21.
to get home. We just the cabin to get home.
I know how to be good cop in an interrogation, but not in a barter.
Hmm.
Sorry.
We're going out for a barter.
Fine.
If you need to get information out of someone, you can offer to shoot them, and I can, compel to their sense of reason, but
Well, we're in the middle of the city, so I can't really demonstrate what the weird contraption on my hip actually does.
true.
For you, just for you. I'll make it for our fine breeding young mother. We'll make it 150, but I cannot go lower than 175 for my main man. I don't remember his name because I made it up 2 seconds ago. So leave me alone.
No, I don't remember there being camel names.
I mean, we're gonna be naming it ourselves anyway.
Yes, there were names of the king. Oh my
Oh
god.
no, yes, you're right. You're right. I just didn't write it down.
Do I remember them? No, but they existed at one point.
All right. Ball's back in your field, then. If you're happy with 150, go for it.
150 for her, 175 for the other. But
Wait,
I cannot
wait,
go any
wait.
lower than that.
Are we buying the hefty camel or the slutty camel?
The slutty camel is the cheap one.
That's usually the case, isn't it?
I'm sorry, that wasn't what I meant. I'm so sorry.
Great word choice. Someone's putting that in the quotes, right?
Oh man.
I'm really sorry. That girl was so wrong.
I'm excited.
And unlike Critical Role, we don't actually stop halfway through the session to take a break and drink.
Whatever you're fine.
I'm
so sorry.
So I assume we're buying the camel for this price?
Yeah.
I haven't really been able to get a word in, but
Sorry.
I do have intentions. So I'm gonna like open up the mechanism. I'm gonna open up the mechanism and pull the crystal out, and it's glowing with magical energy. Just kind of like start rubbing the crystal, like let it heat up a little bit in my hand, put it back in, close it, and go, all right, but I have to warn you, it comes out of your hide if it can't carry as much as the camels at the other places.
Fair enough. I guarantee you good service. That is Tarak's guarantee. Every time you buy a camel, that camel will get you.
We'll get us where?
You know, it'll get you far. Maybe not all the way across Jalbar and back, but
Now, what about camel insurance and our licenses?
anyone like
Yeah, is there like a year-long warranty on this camel?
Bumper to bumper protection.
1 year, 100,000 mile.
Can we have a 30-day money-back guarantee?
my dear young,
Nose to tail warranty.
you need no insurance for Tarak's camels. Tarak's guarantee is insurance enough, and no one needs a license to ride a camel. The minute I say that, the minute my little ones, the minute that they can walk on two legs, we stick them back up on the camel. They sit there, they scream, they cry, but do the camels trust them? No, they don't. I've made a good choice, my good sirs. 107. Which one are you? I'm sorry. Which one did you say that you were gonna get?
Well, the slutty camel is the cheap one.
150 gold. 150 gold for this one.
All right. Can I go over and see if she's like a friendly camel or if she's a nasty camel?
You can. The seller, Tarak, looking at Fen like very expectantly.
I look back at Ven and kind of like, this time it's like asking permission, kind of like, you good with this?
Ben will give you a little nod.
Very well, the deal is made.
All right. So you guys.
I don't think I can barter anybody down with my -2 to diplomacy.
Yeah. So he goes over 1 second. So he counts out the gold. Ah, beautiful. Now forgive me. You must understand that the city does impose a tax. So there is a tax on this animal. It's just another 10 gold pieces, not very much, but it is something that I must levy for my own business.
Well, then you should have told us about that sooner. I suppose it's coming out of your pocket, isn't it?
I'm sorry, without the tax, I can't quite complete the sale.
I step forward to him. I bring the gun up and I press it to his forehead.
Whoa!
And I say,
Goodness.
you quote a price. That price includes taxes. If you want more, you're going to have to give more.
Is he lying about the tax?
You can make a sense motor check.
That was what I meant by that, yes. Oh, all my skills have changed, and now I don't know what any of them are, as my dice go flying off the table and eliciting high-pitched squeaks. I'm so sorry. 18.
He is not lying about the tax. And you would actually, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have made you roll for that. You would know this, having lived in Jalbar long enough. There is a sales tax imposed by the
What
king.
nerve?
Generally, it's rolled into the quoted price, though. Then, can you please make an intimidation check? Make an intimidation check to scare his little pants off.
Natural freaking 20.
Yeah.
So that's a 22.
So this guy must have seen a gun before.
I was gonna.
Or he hasn't, and his imagination is just really good.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm threatening him by putting something up against his forehead. He's gonna get the picture.
Yeah.
No, I was going
Yes.
to roll because if you roll low enough, you're just gonna be like, "What the hell is this? I don't know what this is."
They were like pointing a banana at him. Like that would not scare him.
You see the color almost. It's surprising on someone as dark skinned as this man, but you see the colors just drain from his face, and sweat immediately beads on his forehead. Yes, I understand. Please, I don't know what that contraption is, but I understand. I will cover the tax payment myself. Are we
Good.
Thank you. Now,
Tenmir, stop threatening the nice man.
yes, thank
He
you.
threatens my pockets. I threaten his life.
Relax.
Completely.
You need your medicine again.
So help me, if you pull that again.
What? It'll be me you try to shoot?
He's
Just
starting.
give me the damn reins.
Oh,
Starting to look.
have I made it
very
over? Have I made it over to the camel?
Yes, I'll be with you. I'm sorry. Give me like
It's
1
okay.
second.
Sure.
He looks very uncomfortable because you. I'm sorry, sir. We don't. We have there's rope for the camel. The leather workers, they provide bridles and such. We do sell the feed for the camels. And I can certainly discount you on the price of a bag of feed. How many bags of feed would you like?
Calm yourself. We've reached an agreement. I'm not going to kill you. Yet.
Then
How much is a bag of feed?
We sell them either in bags of 2-pound bags or 5-pound bags.
5 pound.
5-pound bag will be. He kind of looks over at Ven nervously and almost unconsciously takes a step back. A 5-pound bag would be a gold piece.
Very well.
perfectly acceptable. Thank
Give
you.
me the rope and a 5 pound bag of feed.
Yes. He kind of takes a quick breath, and you see his composure and his kind of oily.
Henna's got like a hand on her brother's shoulder, like she's sort of holding him back to try and play the good cop in this guy's head.
Yeah, you see some of his like kind of oily composure start to sneak a little bit back. Yes, of course. Just one moment. He claps his hands, and a young boy, not maybe 10 or 11, who's wiry but looks like he's starting to build some muscle, probably from working with the animals, runs out. And he shouts a couple commands at him, and a moment later, the boy, he runs off and comes back, kind of struggling a little bit, but like hefting one of the 5-pound bags over his shoulder. Here you are, sir. Is it which camel is it? Oh, this one. Oh, okay. He kind of drops it over and kind of scratches the camel. Francis, you are by the camel at this point. What do you want, camel?
I don't know, but I just want to see how comfortable she is around me. How, like, is it chill if we touch her? Is she friendly?
Make an animal handling check.
Alright. And I need all the love that I can through. And I need big money, no whammies, big money, no whammies, big money, no whammies, big money, no whammies. Yes! That's gonna be a 21.
Dang it, I'm gonna have it spit on you. You walk over and the camel kind of looks at you, kind of moves its head over, and you reach a hand up and kind of pat her side. And a moment later, she kind of starts to. She's I don't know what noises camels make. She kind of seems comfortable and moves closer to you.
I'm gonna start giving her ear scritches and chin scritches and.
She likes the ear scritches. Don't forget to scratch your ears and check for fleas. Fleas happen. He kind of pats her. The little boy kind of pats her a little bit sadly. You seem like you'll do good. You take care of her. She's a good camel.
How tall is the kid?
Day high.
Okay, so
On
I'd come down to his level, and I would promise him that we would take good care of the camel, and ask him what he calls her.
Insert the name that I gave before.
Okay, sure
I really
thing.
don't remember.
So I will thank the young man, and I will give him, because I had a weird in between piece. I'm gonna give the kid just a silver piece.
He kind of looks at it with big wide eyes. Thank you. And kind of stuffs it in his pocket and runs off. So you guys now have in your possession a camel.
I like the camel. The camel's like.
Should I put the camel in the group loot?
Yeah. Yes. Slutty camel.
Camel, comma, slutty.
Camel, comma,
What are we naming the slutty camel?
Yorick.
That's a
I get my
boy's
way.
name.
It's a girl.
I don't care.
Eureka?
Eureka!
All right.
There we go.
Eureka, slutty camel. Worst,
Eureka the slutty camel.
worst PBS children's show pitch ever. Oh my word.
You now have in your possession a whole lot of food and a slutty camel that you lead away. And even as you're going, at this point, Tarak is kind of right back, as much back to normal as you would expect. Come again back to Tarak's Emporium, you know? He turns away from Sen kind of quickly and turns to you friends. Yes, don't forget, next time you come back, get one of these beautiful birds for your bow at home. Good man, good looking man fellow like you has a wife, or maybe just a lovely mistress for you. Bring them a little bird from exotic lands. Right? Yes. Have a good one. All right. What do you guys want to do? And I think
After we walk out, I'm gonna give Ven a wink and go, just like the old days.
Yeah. Good to be back to that. Sorry, I'm so out of practice.
Are we going to shoot more merchants? I don't want to shoot any more merchants.
You people are horrible.
We have a
An
camel.
effective way of getting his price down.
10 gold is not worth threatening someone's life.
I wasn't
wouldn't
actually threatening
actually
his
shoot
life.
him.
I just
He
made him think I
believed
was
it.
threatening his life.
That's his
It is-
fault.
To treat someone like that is not right.
Ven is gonna give her brother a quick hug and say, I want to go talk to her friend. I'll meet you guys back at the inn.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
So the
happy to
rest-
take care of that later. If that's easier.
Yeah, I think just for sake of time, we can take care of that by messenger. So you guys head back to the inn, Ven splitting off from you all. And as you guys approach the inn, the innkeeper happens to step out, and you see he is standing there with kind of fanning himself, but with a pipe, kind of smoking into the air. And he kind of sees you, does this, and the pipe just kind of falls up. What is that?
It's our camel. Its name's Eureka.
There's no room for a camel in this establishment. Do you see this? The stables back there? They're barely big enough for a horse. We cannot house a camel. And
Horses would actually be relatively uncommon in the desert. Horses tend to be relatively uncommon in desert societies because they don't have good enough water retention.
Well,
Yeah,
true,
they
but,
drink a lot.
true, but
Yeah.
here's the thing: if they're all running along the canal, they'd always have a source of water, though. Like if
They
if it's
would.
all the main roads.
Generally, desert societies use camels and possibly mules.
That's true, but with the camel, I would say that they probably do have some horses. But regardless, this inn does not have a stable large enough to house a horse anyway.
Can we parallel
Well,
park
I
the
hardly
camel?
think it's going to rain. I think it will survive just fine for one night, tied up outside the stable.
Can I make you a little camel hat
You
in
will be
case it
feeding
rains?
and watering this animal, correct?
Yes.
Good. There will still be a few more gold pieces imposed for the space. He kind of
The space outside of your stable.
it's on our property. He picks up his pipe from where he dropped it, kind of muttering to himself, stamps out like the little bit of smoldering.
Excuse me,
Kind of
sir.
glares at you and shuffles back inside, grumbling under his
Excuse
breath.
Side note, somebody could, if they wanted to, go look for another stable in the city.
You know what? No. I already paid him. I already paid him way more than we owed him last night. If that's not good enough for the use of his freaking stable and his property, then you know what? Screw him. I'm gonna go ask for it back. Unless he gives us the stable. Or at least some part of his property. I don't care.
You say as much to this man.
I will say it loudly while he is within earshot.
He kind of turns back to you and realizes, like, my good sir,
Yes?
you must realize that the camel will cause disturbances. They spit, they do their business, and especially because it's not housed in an area, my stable hands are going to have to shovel.
Yes, they do their business, unlike horses and mules that never do anything like that.
It's not like poop ends up in stables. I mean, good grief. When I was back home, I never even heard of poop happening in the stable.
I heard that the royalty preferred to sleep in the stables because they were cleaner than the castles.
Yes. Oh, and I'm thinking about so I was upstairs in that honeymoon suite looking at all that, thinking, wow, I wish I could be a horse outside.
Master Francis, you have been an excellent patron of this establishment. For you, no cost for the camel housing, and it will not fit in the stable. That much I will insist, but I will see to it that your camel is fed.
Good fellow. And her name is
just for the one evening. Yes, you are planning. You're departing tomorrow.
Yes.
Breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. He's not even trying. It breaks my heart to see you all leave, but I thank you for your patronage as always.
Yes, I'll be sure to mention this place whenever I speak to other adventurers.
Or, royalty that are looking for a stable.
Kind of gives you just the sour, twisting look, and a very ingratiating smile. Kind of bows very sarcastically and stumps off inside.
I give him a curtsy.
Yes!
Yes!
You know how you're not supposed to shake hands right now in the whole
Yes.
coronavirus mess?
Yes.
Kira's idea of how we
Yes.
should greet people was the first person bows and the second person, regardless of gender, curtsies.
I'm down.
That was kind of what my dad was saying.
It's okay. I am man enough to say that I can do a curtsy.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Please demonstrate.
Ahem. Actually, you know what? No one's gonna see me anyway. So.
I'm a big fan of the Wakanda
Don't do
salute
it.
as a new greeting.
Yes.
Of the what?
You're a fan of what?
The Wakanda salute as the new greeting.
Yes.
Yes.
Come forever!
Do the
I
curtsy.
can.
I dare you.
Sure. Nobody's gonna see me, but.
We will.
Oh, you okay? All right. So.
Forever and ever.
We're going to come. Going to.
And this is going to be saved on YouTube.
And
Yes.
the right
Okay,
ankle goes
this
out.
is turning into an episode of Transsexual Pride and Prejudice.
Oh,
Are zombies in this one too?
yes.
No.
There we go.
Zombies.
Guys, what the heck are we gonna call this
I'm
episode?
not sure why that was a thing anyway. Like, who read Jane Austen and thought, you know what, this needs zombies?
The movie was actually not that bad, which was kind
I
of
refuse to watch it.
On principle.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I watched it with like a couple of friends because I don't know, it was just what they were into, and I feel like I forget why. I think I fell asleep a couple of times.
How is zombies plus Jane Austen something anybody is into? No offense to your friends, but
I don't know. For the one, I think it was Beth's idea, and Beth is a nurse, so she's a nurse and a former EMT, so it's kind of up her weird alley.
dear God, please tell me that's not what I'm going to be stuck watching while I wait for calls.
No, but you'll probably find some pretty crappy stuff. Kind of just depends on the group. I mean, I spent an evening. The only horror movie that I've seen is Insidious, and I spent an evening just hanging out on night shift watching Insidious, and it was terrible and awful. But it was because we were all like 20-somethings, just bored out of our minds. So
Good times.
I would, by the way,
Yes.
Yes.
I would like to ask Azalea for a favor. I don't know if Harley can hear me.
is Harley there?
I don't think she's there.
I think her computer may be on the floor.
Harley is
Yeah.
currently AFK.
Yeah. Okay.
You might
I
message
I
her.
didn't. I wasn't looking at the Hangouts call when I said that. So.
That's right. You might, maybe just message her. But all right. So just for the sake of wrapping things up, because it's already about to be 11:30.
Ooh.
You guys, you tuck your camel away in the corner in front of the stable, tying her to a post, and a couple of the stable hands come out and with feed, and as you're leaving, you see them trying to figure out like how to drag like one of the water troughs out here. But you head upstairs now as the sun is starting to get a little closer to the horizon. It's mid-afternoon, and like the height of the day's heat is now here. And you head up into the room. Is there anything you guys want to do before we call it?
I assume I eventually get back to the others.
Yeah. All right. Eventually, then comes in, but in that case, you guys can wait until evening, and we will see what happens in the morning. Unless you guys are doing. Is there anything else? That's probably the better question. Is there anything you guys wanted to do before you go to bed tonight?
Or camel ear scritchies. Or camel ear scritchies.
You're welcome to go and do.
Since I only need.
Now that I have supplies, I'd like to start working.
Likewise, yep.
Okay. Ethan, I'm gonna have you work that out with Andrew, if he knows your project.
Okay.
Especially since we only need 4 hours of sleep compared to everyone else's 8.
Okay. Are you trying to work this to completion then? Then
I will work as much as I can in the time that I don't need to sleep.
okay.
I mean, I imagine there's only so much one can do at 4 a.m. when everyone else is still asleep.
Well, if you start working on it as soon as you get back, like I would imagine that you could easily get it done before you go to bed. I mean, you have like the wood pieces cut from earlier. You have the wheels. It really shouldn't take you very long to do this. So I'm gonna have you make 2 craft checks, and then we'll see where we're at.
And this is what I bought the wire saw for. Is because that way I can use the wire saw to cut the ceramic rings without shattering the files.
Okay. Do me a favor, and then just make a quick craft check for that.
You said 2, right?
Yep.
Just a basic craft check.
What do you have craft in?
I have alchemy and firearms.
All right, then just a basic craft check.
All right. So one of those is a 7, and one of them is a 23.
I got a 9.
Okay. All right, so then you're working on the ceramic, and I don't know how exactly this would work, and if you would need to go out and buy more files at this point, but it's not going super well. You're not quite used to this wire saw. Like it handles a little bit different from the one that it's weighted a little bit different, and just as you're working with it, just between that and like the ceramic being a little, I don't know, tougher or thinner than you expect, it cracks while you're still trying to shape it. And so you're gonna have to start over if you want to keep working.
So
on
it cracks on one cut such that I can still try to make 4 rings out of what remains, or it cracks irreparably in as much as I have to go buy more files.
No, I would say like while you get me, the bottom one kind of crumbles and it looks like there's like a hairline crack. On like, but it might just be on the surface. It seems to just be on like the surface, not
Okay.
deep enough that like it'll shatter if you try and cut some more.
My sister is much better at these things than I am, and I'm realizing that now. So I'm just going to give her what remains and say, see if you can make something out of this.
What do you want me making?
I was figuring you could cut some ceramic rings because they allow for much less friction and would make for good bearings for your wheels.
I can try. Thank you.
Okay. In the meantime, you're trying to assemble these pieces, and it's not going super well. It's as you're trying to sand down like the wood and start to apply it.
We had, just for reference, I had a natural 2 and a natural 18 for the 2
Wow.
rolls.
Quite the spectrum.
Yeah.
At first, like as you're trying to assemble it, something happens, and for one of the roller blades, like the platform cracks. You kind of look at it and you're just like, oh, scheisse. So you end up having to, thankfully your brother has purchased adhesive, so you could try and use it as like a wood glue to fix it, or you can cut it again, which you had a high enough roll that I would say that you'd be able to successfully cut it and start working, but you might not finish it tonight at this point.
Okay.
So, so you're just gonna recut it?
I'll recut.
Okay, so you recut
Whatever
it.
is more structurally sound.
Yeah, probably that. You get the sense. So you redo it, and you are able. What was your second roll? You said at 23.
23.
Okay, yeah, you're able to finish one of this one. Just you end up focusing just on the one that you restarted, and you finish that one rollerblade. And you're pretty happy with it. You roll it around a little bit, or roller skate, whichever one it is. And you're able to that one you're satisfied with. So you'll have to take some time on a different day to work on the other one. But you made some really good progress. Out of curiosity, like, are they roller blades? Like, are they inline or are they skates?
I don't know the difference because I've never actually done any version of rollerblading.
Skates are
or
a
roller
2x2 of wheels. Rollerblades are 1x4.
Like all in one line. You'd probably be easier for you to do roller skates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
That was what I was thinking.
The
anyway.
intent is for Azalea to be able to move faster, so.
Roller skates would probably be slower, but they'd be more stable.
Yeah.
Go with
Trying
that.
to rollerblade over cobblestones is frightening to
That
me.
seems like a disaster waiting to happen.
I will take your guys' advice then.
Yes.
Oh, these are going to be really loud with metal wheels.
Yeah, I may end up putting some form of, if there's a natural rubber or wax coating on it. I may see if I can do that eventually, but
Yeah, this is
I
gonna.
figured cramp-on versions of roller skates was probably going to be odd enough as it is.
It's okay. I think you're really gonna have to worry about like stealth disadvantage only on like cobblestone streets.
I mean, again, it's for speed.
Yeah, it's not for stealth.
Stealth. It's
Yeah,
for when we
normally
all
you're
go
not full
dashing.
sprinting at stealth.
Right. It's when we all go dashing in, so Azalea doesn't get left behind again.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. Given that,
I wanted
done
to
seeing
ask
her.
Azalea for a favor, by the way.
That's right.
Yeah.
I have a design that I'm working on, but I'm not particularly good at the artistic side of things. And I know you've worked in a library, and I thought maybe you could make a design very similar to like the scrolling you'll see on the cover of fancy books.
I mean, I'm not great at it, but I could do my best. I'm haven't done it professionally.
Well, yes, there's that for me as well, but the main reason why I'm coming to you, other than the fact that you've worked in a library, is because how do I say this without it coming off wrong? I really don't. I need it to be a bit more effeminate than my taste.
Can you explain a little bit more exactly what you're talking about?
Tasha, I see you.
No, I'm thinking it's a real good thing he didn't ask his sister for help.
I have a device that I am constructing as a gift for a colleague. And she likes things to be decorative and more.
Colleague. I was waiting for it.
Would y'all just shut up? Like, really now?
Wrong.
All right, so
Anyway,
mhm.
Azalea doesn't know this. So, I am constructing something for a colleague, and she likes things to be more intricate of a design, more detailed. It is a shape, and I'm going to show. Let me try and get my camera pulled up so that I can see what I'm showing. It's going to be of about this shape,
Okay.
and it a design. I want a design to go around the outside. If you could,
so like
if you could come up with something for that.
more of like floral, or are you thinking like swirls and like leaves, or
All right, out of character, I'm afraid to say this because y'all are gonna derail this immediately.
you gonna say flowers?
I am going to say flowers with 4-leaf clovers worked in.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely doable. Azalea's just looking at him, waiting to see if he says anything. She's not asking anything, but she's kind of like,
Out of curiosity, whose room is this discussion happening in?
Not the same room as as Clover.
I was just really hoping that you had gone to find her and just had forgotten. Just gonna be
No.
like,
No.
all right.
yeah,
I-
but that's
Fenrir's
doable.
not gonna say anything. He's said everything that you need to know.
All right.
Azalea's not gonna ask, but she's definitely paying attention.
Tasha is still dying.
Tasha's
Breathe
very
in through the
specifically
nose,
not
breathe
saying
out through the
anything.
mouth.
Hopefully,
She's very specifically not saying anything.
hopefully your colleague will like whatever it is that you're constructing.
You get a bit of a wry stare.
Azalea smiles.
All
Don't
right.
judge me too harshly.
Why would I judge you?
All the characters.
You already are.
I suppose it depends on exactly what connotation you put on judging. Gift giving can be sweet, and Azalea will just walk away.
Thanks for your help.
All right. And with that, we are going to
Y'all make things uncomfortable.
we love you. You love Clover.
All right. All right. So what do we have? Oh my word!
I despise you all.
We know.
But you wouldn't trade us for anybody else.
I feel your pain, Ethan. I feel your pain.
That's true. We did kind of vicious mockery you and Kaz out of existence.
Very different circumstance, though.
Also, like, perfectly justified. Cringe. Alright, y'all. With that, we are going to end for this evening. So, starting, I guess, with Ethan, probably, just to give Tasha some time. Can we have a
Oh my
way, looking at the quotes from last week, Andrew, what did you do to my character?
What?
Those jelly sandwiches have wreaked havoc on my delicate elven bowels.
You're doing the bad Andrew imitation of Ben's voice, though.
Those jelly sandwiches have wreaked havoc on my delicate elven bowels.
No, you're not doing it right. You just go nasal and deadpan. Yes, of course.
Those jelly sandwiches. Those jelly sandwiches have wreaked havoc.
Those jelly sandwiches have wreaked havoc on my delicate elven bowels. Squeak!
Oh my word.
Okay, is you saying squeak every time I squeak when I laugh your way of getting back at me for smitten?
Absolutely.
Then I suppose I deserve it.
Yep. Alright. Quote.
Quotes.
Go ahead.
Quotes.
Because I'm still having trouble getting myself under control.
Alright, so the first one is, what do you want to do, Gabrielle? Talk! Tasha, sounding oddly squawky. And so Tasha the chicken was born. Ethan.
Okay, Tashi. So you pay for your nuts, Gabrielle.
A pita a day keeps starvation away. Gabrielle.
Oops. Is that a problem if there's sand on his brain? Ethan.
The slutty camel is the cheap one. Tasha.
Should I put the camel in the group loot? Also me.
Eureka the slutty camel, the worst pitch for a TBS show ever.
Oh goodness.
Andrew.
All right, y'all. Thank you.
I'm so glad we went with the slutty camel, guys.
We're mature.
I just wanted to be the same with the butch one.
Tasha, you just invented a sentence, and I'd like to compliment you on that. I'm so glad you went with the slutty camel. All right.
Watch your mouth.
All right. We need to stop this before something really stupid gets said.
Yes.
I think
So
we're a
we
little late.
checking in. We're sorry if you foolishly allowed your children to watch this show. We said it was not child friendly, and so if they ask what a slutty camel is, don't blame us. It is on you. It's okay. You guys are all great parents. It's okay.
That was a half squeak.
It was a terminated squeak, I think.
It got cut off when I turned the mic off because I was interrupting with my laughter.
And now she's choking to death.
Is she okay? Tasha, are you alright? Do I need to call for assistance for you?
Once I get myself back under control, I'll be fine.
Yes, we're gonna stop before like either somebody says something really bad or Tasha dies, whichever one comes first.
Stop fueling the giggle storm.
Why not simultaneously?
Thank you to everyone who checked in and is watching. Bye, Scott, if you're there. Miss you.
Yes.
Good night, Kira. Goodbye, people.
Bye.
Camel sluts. Camel sluts.
All right.
Oh yeah? Yeah?
All right. Yep.
By
Alright,
the
so you got-
way,
Yes.
if you need a name for this episode,
Yes.
we officially took 24 minutes to buy a camel.
Yes.
How to buy a
I
promiscuous
timed it.
how to buy a promiscuous
How to
camel.
buy a camel in 24 minutes.
How to
How to buy
buy
a slutty